Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. This is Astrology Tarot, and in today's pick a card reading, we are asking the question, what goes through your person, I mean the person on your mind, when they see you. So it's been almost a year since I've done this reading last, so I felt really called to do an updated version of it once again. This doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic connection, but do be aware that that's probably what these connections are going to center around. So if you're asking about somebody that is not a romantic interest, you may just need to kind of filter out the more romantic-esque messages, but that's totally possible. You know, these are here to take what resonates and to not let the rest take from you. So we have 4 piles to choose from today. Starting with pile 1, we have the Naked Heart Tarot, as well as this copper cube. And then for pile 2, we have the Synesthesia Tarot, as well as this piece of Scolecite. And then for pile 3, we have the Moon Void Tarot and this piece of Aura Rose Quartz. And then finally for pile 4, we have the Wandering Moon Tarot and this piece of Pyrite. So there will also be an extended today. The extended is going to be 18 plus, and we're essentially going to be doing the same topic, but allowing dirty messages to come through. So if you're interested in that, that will be linked directly below underneath the timestamps. But go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It's absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. You could be asking about more than one person. You may find that there are messages that resonate for the same person in different piles. You may also find that one pile sounds like you, and if that case, I challenge you to watch it and see how accurate it is and see how accurate I can get your own thoughts right, because you know, you should be able to know what's going through your own mind, right? But yeah, once you've picked your pile or piles, you can go ahead and scroll down to the description box or the comments section where I will have all the timestamps listed below. And then once you have picked your pile, I will see you in your reading. Hi there, pile 1. If you guys chose the copper cube and the Naked Heart Tarot, this is going to be your reading. So to start, what we are going to do is we are going to look at how this person sees themselves and then how they see you, and what the overall energy of the connection is. So the overall energy of the connection is objective, but I do want you guys to be aware that the way they see themselves and the way they see you is subjective. So that doesn't mean it's the actual truth, but it is how they perceive you. So this is kind of important because we're asking about what goes through their mind, and the best way to know what's going through their mind is to first see how they're seeing themselves and how they're seeing you. So let's go ahead and start with how this person is seeing themselves. I do also want to mention, if this sounds like you, there may be another pile that doesn't sound like you and it sounds like someone else. I don't know, this is my first pile, so I don't know. But if not, then Spirit may just want you to see what's going through your own mind. So to start with your persons, this is your person, how they see themselves. We have the Shapeshifter. We have the Firefly. We have the Mystic. And the Angel of Strength. And then how they see you, we have the Eternal Child. We have the Dragon. We have the Detective. And we have Strategy. And then finally, for the energies here, we have Forgiveness and Compassion. Actually, I want to... there we go. That feels way better. Okay. So this is definitely going to be a good example of one where I think that this person, once I get to the interpretation, you're going to be like, oh, really? That's how they see me? Like, that's interesting. But let's go ahead and start with the Shapeshifter card. So this person is actually pretty impressive. Their energy is pretty advanced and pretty evolved. I say that I'm not trying to say that lightly, but I think it makes sense because this person probably has like imposter syndrome or something like that, because we have all of this like magnificent energy, and then we have the firefly, which like it just, compared to all of the energy around it, kind of just feels like a turd. And not that fireflies are bad or anything like that. Fireflies are dope, and they, you know, have a trip. I just started hearing fireflies in my head, and it just completely derailed what I was saying because Spirit wanted to troll. But maybe that's a significant song. He wouldn't believe your eyes. But truthfully, this person does have an energy more equivalent to 10 million fireflies than just one. But they really don't see their own value, but they're starting to. That's a big thing. They're starting to. Because this person has evolved a lot. And if you've known them for a long time, then you'll be able to agree and confirm that. Between Mystic and Angel of Strength, I definitely think that this person has either developed their spirituality more, they could be a mystic of some kind, or they're just closer to themselves, closer to their soul. Because for some of you, this person they could not have any spiritual beliefs. They could just be the type of person who is starting to have a stronger sense of self-awareness and a stronger like internal compass and things like that, because they're starting to trust themselves and explore themselves and discover themselves more. It seems like this person is recognizing that they are a part of the universe. They're not separate from it. But that wisdom isn't always with them. With this firefly, it's like, I think sometimes they see how spectacular they are. Sometimes they see their worth. Sometimes they see how great it is what they're doing. For a lot of you, I get the vibe that this person is doing something greatly beneficial to society. So whether that is like they're in a healthcare profession, or they're in a healing profession, or they're in a profession, for example, like a tech profession, where they're they're making improvements to society that will benefit society as a whole. It has Aquarius energy like all over it, if I'm being honest, because it does seem like this person cares about like the collective. They care about improving lives, improving not just their own life, but the lives of others. In fact, I think the biggest shift within them recently is that it's not just the lives of others that they want to improve, it's also their own life, essentially. With this firefly card here, though, I think it is very easy for this person to become disconnected with that truth again, because as you know, like, well, hopefully you know this, fireflies, they're obviously not just flying around constantly lit, you know what I mean? They flash, like they're there and they're gone. And maybe that's how this person is, like, whether you feel their energy and just as you pick up on it, it's gone, or if you see them in the physical world, it's like you see them for a little bit and then they disappear again. They definitely are a light to you, is the vibe that I'm getting. I mean, with the connecting energies here being compassion and forgiveness, a heart energy, I definitely think that there is a lot of warmth, a lot of care, a lot of love here. But I definitely think that this person at times gets really down on themselves, gets really hard on themselves, but they're starting to realize that they have way more power than they've been giving themselves credit for. And this person does give me the energy of like, they get knocked down 5 times, they'll get up 6. Like, it's almost like this person has had to be like brought to their knees, like brought to like their breaking point over and over and over again for them to realize that they can't be broken, and that they can keep evolving, and that they can keep shifting, and that there is always something more, something else, something to help them back up. And what's interesting as well is these both reduce to 10, because 19 in numerology would reduce to 10, which means they would then both reduce to 1. Well, obviously 10 doesn't have to reduce to anything, but anyway, this is definitely somebody who is starting to realize that they're so much more multidimensional than they gave themselves credit for. This seems like somebody who was telling themselves the same old story over and over and over again until they realized that the story being told to them was told to them by others, and that in fact, once they started listening to their own story, they realized how grand and strong they actually were. And I mean, if you see here, like there's a tiger in this image, there's a lion in this image, and then this firefly. Like if you saw a tiger, a lion, and a firefly charging at you, I don't think you'd be very focused on the firefly. And truthfully, the firefly seems to be the energy that they portray most in like to you or to situations that make them uncomfortable or feel small. This person, I think one thing that they're learning is that they have contributed to making themselves feel small. And like truthfully, the only animal that's missing here is a bear. Oh my, maybe that's what they need to. Maybe that's the energy they're missing. But this person is a lot more fierce than they give themselves credit for. But they're starting to get there. And the reason they're starting to get there is because they're starting to have compassion and forgiveness for themselves. So this person is definitely very hard on themselves. You can kind of read that from a mile away. One thing that I was kind of noticing here is like this person could be a Capricorn and you could be an Aries. Certainly don't have to be. I just noticed that 4 was here and 15 was here, and 4 is the number of the Emperor, also the month of April. And while 15 is not the month, well, I guess also in April we have Taurus as well. So Taurus energy could be significant as well. But with Capricorn, number 15 is the devil. And I definitely think that this person really held themselves back in a lot of ways because they would be their own worst enemy. And I think that they're realizing that they can shift out of that energy, that they don't have to be in that energy, and it's allowing them to allow their strength to come through and allow their true nature to shine through. So the way they're seeing you is really interesting. And I can almost guarantee that you're going to be like, what? So they literally see you as like, you're doing amazing, and you could be, but I don't think that they're seeing this in the most accurate light. So let's start with the eternal child. And Spirit. So I just heard Pete Davidson in my head, and I do think that he is a very apt example of this eternal child energy. I'm not saying that he has anything to do with this reading, but his energy is an excellent example of this archetype. The eternal child is often seen, Tom Cruise would be another great example of this. The eternal child energy is often seen within celebrities. It is this, so maybe you could have some sort of influence. You don't have to, but I mean, this person could see you as somebody with influence, but they see you as somebody who is constantly in the light. How do I want to put this? Like, the eternal child is like, it can kind of be, like if it's distorted, it can be seen as like Peter Pan syndrome, where you're constantly being drawn towards what's fun, what makes you feel light, what's enjoyable. And this can be a wonderful archetype, but it can also be a destructive archetype. But this person doesn't see you in this destructive form of the archetype. They see you as somebody living their life and following the fun, and very much so like happy doing it, enjoying doing it. Because with this dragon card here, this is a spirit card, and this represents the solar plexus chakra, which is the chakra, like if we were going bottom to top, it's the third one, and it's represented by the color yellow. And it represents self-esteem, confidence, our intellectual capabilities, other things like that. And I think that mainly in this case, which I think is even shown kind of with the sun imagery, is this person sees you as somebody who is very happy living your life the way it is right now. And they also see you as somebody who is suspicious of them. They feel like you don't trust their intentions. They feel like you don't trust them. And they feel like you don't see them as worthy of being around you. And in my gut, it felt wrong saying that. And that's why I know that that's not your truth. That's not how you truly feel. And I think that is one example of where this person really deflates their own importance and conflates yours. They see you as somebody who is content just following these fickle highs of life. But one archetype with the eternal child is that they don't have limits, and oftentimes they turn to substances or easily develop addictions because they are constantly following that joy, that exciting, joyful energy. And I think one thing that they don't realize is that I feel like this is something that you just naturally portray. Like maybe this person only sees your social media or something like that. Like that would make sense for eternal child energy, because like obviously you're only going to be posting like unless you're the type of person who like posts blank screens on Snapchat being like, so bummed out, don't text or something like that. Like I don't think you do that. I mean, no shade to anyone who does, but like I just don't think that that's your vibe. They see you as somebody very confident, and they see you as somebody that is strategic, somebody that doesn't really give much away. They see you as someone very calculated, and I feel like they never get the full picture with you. Like one thing that I think is really interesting with this eternal child and dragon energy is we have the sun within the eternal child, and the dragon energy representing solar plexus chakra energy represents fire energy. And this person sees themselves as a firefly. And so they see themselves as only a fraction of what you have. They think that you have this magnificence within you as well. And I think that's something that you both bond over. But this person is still learning how to see themselves as an equal when it comes to you. Because I do think that this person puts you on a pedestal. And if this person had a pedestal to make you both equal, it's like they would knock their own pedestal off, because they have been struggling to see their self-worth, but they're improving. I think one thing that they don't see is your insecurities. They don't see your struggles or the things that make you sad unless you directly communicate them. So like, for example, with this forgiveness card, I could see for some of you that like maybe you and this person broke up, or you and this person have been in separation. Don't have to be. It could be that like you and this person just have history and there've been ups and downs here. But no matter what's happened here, you both have compassion for one another. And I know that you do, because in order to have compassion for someone else, you have to have compassion for yourself. And so I've stated before that this energy is objective. So I know that you have that for yourself. And I know that this image of how this person sees you is definitely one that is slightly tinted by their own rose-colored glasses. And I don't say that to be like, you suck. I say that to be like, you have struggles too. You have difficulties too. Like you're not so, I honestly, I think the way that this person sees you is like, it almost removes a layer of humanity, because they assume that you're just doing fine and that you don't care, that you don't, what has gone on between you doesn't bother you, or that you're just the type of person who doesn't need like deep, meaningful things. You're after like, you know, the eternal child. Like a child is not going to care about, okay, I'll use this as an example. When I was little, I was dragged to furniture stores all the time with my parents. Mainly my mom, but sometimes both of them. And it literally felt like God, it was just absolute torture. And like, as an adult, I certainly don't feel that way, but still when I go into a furniture store, I have this tinge of, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in a fucking furniture store. I can't. Like, I was dragged to so many as a kid, and they were just so mind-numbingly boring and just made me want to hit my head like on every single piece of furniture in there. Like, the only perk is that at least you can sit down, but like, wasn't fond of furniture stores, wanted to do some fun shit like go to Dave & Buster's or things like that, you know what I mean? I wanted to do fun things. I didn't want to go to a fucking furniture store, right? But as an adult, I see the value of furniture stores. There's some cool shit in here. I never thought that I would be the type of person excited by a cool vase. But as you get older, you know, shit just gets more realistic. And I think that this person doesn't have a realistic viewpoint that you're not a child either, in the literal sense. Yes, I think you both have a sense of childlike joy, a sense of childlike whimsy that you both enjoy, and I think that's something you both connect on. But I do not think that this person is recognizing that you also want things of deeper substance as well, that there are also things that are deeply meaningful to you as well. You know, and like the Tom Cruise example, you know, when he was announcing his engagement to Katie Holmes and he's on Oprah, right? And he's like jumping up and down on the couch. Like, doesn't matter how old he is, like that is the symbol of like the eternal child. And I think that this person hasn't been able to see your more serious side. And I think that you do a very good job of showing this person either what you want them to see or putting up a front to keep them from seeing your vulnerability. I think your person senses your vulnerability, but I think you're too afraid to show them your vulnerability. And so it remains just a hunch and an inkling, and they're not able to see you as realistically. If this person has been vulnerable with you and you haven't been vulnerable with them, then I think that that's made this almost worse, because if they were vulnerable with you and you didn't return it, then I think that this person is under the assumption that you weren't vulnerable with them because you don't have any vulnerabilities to express, rather than you weren't vulnerable with them because you weren't ready to expose or express those vulnerabilities, or maybe you don't. I just get the vibe that you're not this upfront, literal, and surface. I think that this person worries that you think lowly of them. I think this person worries that you think that they have bad intentions. I don't think this person has bad intentions. In fact, I think that both of you have a lot of compassion towards each other and want to move beyond any difficulties here. I wish I could read more into your depth, but like this person, I can't, because I'm going off of this person. So I'm only seeing what they're able to see. But they definitely, if you're not communicating with them, or you're in an argument with them, or you've had some difficulties, I think that this I think that Spirit wants you to know, and that this person has a lot of love for you, and I think that's vice versa, because otherwise this forgiveness card wouldn't make sense. But I think that both of you are kind of starting to see through certain responses, or at the very least, even if you don't understand why one or both of you may respond a certain way, you're empathizing, respecting, and having compassion for the fact that we all respond in different ways. We all have different reasons for why we do the things that we do, and we're all at our own place in life, and we can't really judge or control that. We just have to lovingly allow and accept that we all take life at our own pace. So if that resonates, let's go ahead and see what goes through this person's mind when they see you. So this doesn't have to be in person. This could be on social media. This could be, I just heard on TV, so like I don't know what y'all are doing, but it sounds impressive. But I just got this deck, the Naked Heart Tarot, and I quite like it. So if you like this deck, honestly, I would highly recommend getting it, because I really like the guidebook. I think it's a great deck to use. I think it's a great deck to use if you want to do readings on yourself, because the guidebook is very self-oriented. A little bit hard to shuffle though. We are breaking her in still. We'll do one more and then we'll get into it. Okay, well that Five of Wands wants to come out, so we're gonna take that. And there's one card underneath it, and we'll take that as well. But I'm gonna take it as the clarifier to the Five of Wands. So clarifying the Five of Wands, we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. Okay. So Spirit, what goes through pile one's person's mind when they see pile one, please? I just heard, like, I'm tired of playing it cool. I'm tired of, like, fighting my own urges. Fighting my own, I don't even know if I want to call it urges, but, like, instincts. Okay, yeah, we have the Ace of Cups. This makes sense. We have the High Priestess. This makes total sense because this is already fitting with that, like, mystic. We have the Naked Heart, which is, oh my god, this is actually, like, this is so precious. But this is, the Naked Heart is a bonus card only in this deck. What else, Spirit? Okay, we have the Knight of Cups or the Movement of Cups. Now I'm hearing, I'm probably gonna say his name wrong. Hozier? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know he's popular. I just don't know how to say his name correctly. Hozier. And I'm hearing like the movement song. We also have the World. One more, Spirit. We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Two of Pentacles upright. And on the back of the deck, we have Justice in reverse. So this makes a lot of sense. The main thing that this person thinks about when they see you is the fact that, this is a Hierophant. That's interesting. They think about the fact that this situation is unbalanced and that there is something that is not sitting right with them. If there were difficulties in the past or, like, you know, bad energy between you or, like, disagreements, things like that, I feel like this person is acknowledging the fact that those haven't been entirely resolved and that is something that they want to resolve. But I also think that this extends more to the fact that this person feels like the universe hasn't been very fair to the both of you. But I think the more that this person is reflecting, hence this Sage card underneath, they're realizing that the universe has been fair to the both of you based upon where you were at the time and what you needed to do, because this person has definitely grown and evolved. And so to have this Sage card come out, they're recognizing that the universe had some kind of madness to its, had some kind of method to all of this madness, and that this person has grown and evolved because of this lack of justice, this lack of balance here. And I think this person is recognizing that they don't want this to be how your story ends or how this plays out between the two of you. Like, I'm hearing in, like, Hamilton in my head, like, who lives, who dies, who tells your story. And I think this person is realizing that, like, they don't want to sit idly by, or they don't want to not have the chance to rectify this situation or to make their truth known. And I think one thing that is different is this person now has a healthy enough self-esteem to face rejection. And I think that they didn't before. And it's only through all of the deep spiritual work that they've been doing, which, you know, makes sense. Revels in intimate union with the divine. They're realizing that they can handle rejection. They can handle being vulnerable, because they've been knocked down enough times to know that at some point they'll get back up. This is actually really beautiful energy. So starting with the Five of Wands in reverse with the Nine of Wands in reverse, this person is tired of having a front and having a wall up with you. And I think one thing that they've admitted to themselves is that they've had this wall up is that they've had this wall up, like, period. If you have a wall up with them, they may have been really focused on the fact that you had a wall up with them, and I think that they didn't even realize that they had walls up too. And I find that this actually happens a lot, where it's really easy to kind of see what the other person is doing wrong, but not see how your own actions may contribute to something. And it's only until we take a look that we truly realize that there's something that like our energy and our behaviors can contribute to a dynamic. And I think that with the Five of Wands being reversed here, this is an excellent example of how this person has finally become aware of the fact that they were resistant to even looking at the fact that they had walls up, and they were resistant to your connection or to your energy. They had a lot of resistance that they were unaware of and that they're letting go of. Because with the Six of Swords in reverse, I think that a lot of time has passed here, even indicated by that Two of Pentacles. And I think any difficulties that have happened between the two of you, they've healed a lot of that, and the underlying feelings haven't changed. And so with the Six of Swords in reverse and the Ace being clarified by the Ace of Cups upright, I think that this person thinks about the fact that they want a romantic opportunity with you. I think they think about the fact that they want, they either want you to offer something, or they want to offer you something, or they want the universe to come in and be like, hey, here's another opportunity. Because with the High Priestess and the Naked Heart both being upright, I think that they have true, genuine feelings for you. And the fact that we have the High Priestess being here, this really just goes to show to me that this person has realized the truth of their feelings and the truth of themselves through working on themselves spiritually, through doing a lot of inner work, through developing themselves more. And they probably were inspired or triggered to do a lot of this either through events that happened in your connection or because of the connection, because this person needed to heal. And I think through healing, this person has realized a lot more about their actions, a lot more about why they may do the things that they do, or why they may not do the things that they want to do, and why they maybe hold back out of fear. With the High Priestess being here in the Naked Heart, they think about the fact that they have so much love for you and they don't tell you. They don't say anything about it. I think they do play it very cool. Almost like an owl, you know? That they're just up there in the tree in the trees chilling. Spirit just showed me the image of the Weasley's owl when it's like running into a window. And so I feel like this person, maybe they're very clumsy, or maybe they just like accidentally embarrass themselves in front of you, which maybe like what they do is in your mind like very cute, but they view it as very embarrassing because they take themselves too seriously. They think about the fact that like they want to be open and honest with you about these things. They want to be real with you. But I think what stops them is they don't know if that's what you want as well. And so they're not fully ready to face this rejection, or they're waiting for the universe to make something happen. Because with the Movement of Cups, this is the Knight of Cups. And we have the universe, which is the world. So I'm also hearing 21 Guns by Green Day. Like I just heard like, I can't remember the lyrics fully, but like, it's like lay down your heart, give up the fight. It's like you both have been resisting and fighting this connection. And when you think about it, there's really only 3 types of energy universally. And you can look at it in like a yin yang symbol. There's balance, which is neutrality. And that's kind of the state that you're striving for. But then there's also magnetism and resistance. And you can feel both within a person, or about a person within. For example, going back to my example of hating furniture stores, I felt tons of resistance going to a Crate and Barrel, but tons of magnetism going to a Dave & Buster's. Why? Because I wanted to win tickets so that I could get a shitty prize. I didn't want to sit in a damn furniture store because I couldn't appreciate couches then. I just couldn't. But as time evolves, as you grow, as you change, what you're magnetized towards and what you resist will change. And I think one big thing here is that the only energy that I don't see here is neutrality. So I think one thing's for sure, no matter how long you've known this person, I don't think either of you have ever felt neutrally about one another. And neutrality is a normal emotion to feel. Like most people, you usually don't feel one way or the other about most people, about most things. You just because to care that much and to just process that much is impossible for one human being to do. Neutrality is incredibly important. And with this Justice card being in reverse, I feel like this person is recognizing that they don't, like I said, they don't want this to be how like your story ends. Like they want like this, they want balance here. They want an equal give and take. They want, for some, a committed relationship if this is a romantic connection, or they want to at the very least admit the truth that that's something they want. Because one thing that I'm seeing here is like this person is, it's like this person just wants the opportunity to say it because they're recognizing that you may not feel the same way. And they're coming to terms with that. I think that's what's getting in this energy of them finally being willing and able to be vulnerable. I want to see what this card is. Yeah, the Five of Cups in reverse, which is actually really interesting that it has a blue heart. I feel like this person has been really sad about this situation for a long time, and it's taken a long time for them to heal. And I think one thing that they realized is that they were maybe prolonging their healing cycle by not having control of their mind. I think one thing that they've been learning how to do is have more control over their mind, because your mind can keep you in a state of suffering by repeating over and over the things that you're sad about what happened. And I think this person has finally done enough healing to the point where they can fully see now that their love for you is so much stronger than any pain, hurt, or disappointment about things in the past. And I think that this person hopes that you're able to see them as more multidimensional. The kind of ironic thing is they're seeing you as more one-dimensional, but I think that this person, you know, is very intuitive, and it's not necessarily that they see you as one-dimensional, it's just that they feel like you haven't shown them anything else, and so there's not much to see. This person is very afraid of like reading into something too deeply, because maybe that's something they're guilty of doing a lot. And so it's like they don't want to assume anything. They want you to be honest with them. And so until they have a clearer picture of you, they can't really do how they see you justice, because they're trying to allow you to show up as you want, rather than trying to control how you show up or prod you into you showing them what they want to see, or prod you into showing them everything. They want you to be vulnerable with them because you want to be vulnerable. Like this person is not going to push you to be vulnerable with them because and if they did in the past, they won't do that anymore, because they recognize that they can only meet you as far as you're willing to meet them. And they're willing to meet you at some pretty deep depths. I feel like this person wants to be honest with you about their feelings for you and just how much love they have for you. But they're not really working on a plan to make that happen with this Three of Pentacles in reverse. They're kind of waiting. They don't really know what the right thing to do is. And with the Universe card here and the Knight of Cups, it's like they're just following their heart when it comes to you. They want a cycle and this connection to end, but they're not taking any action in the physical to change that, only because they haven't had some sort of idea or some sort of green light that they need. Like, you can even see the top of the hourglass is red and the bottom is green. And it's like they haven't gotten that internal green light to go for it in some way. But here's the thing, I don't know what's going to give them that. Maybe they're waiting for you. Like, maybe the ball's in your court, or maybe, for example, they could be using work as like a mechanism for like escaping shit. They could be like, yeah, they could be they may just not know what to do yet, and in order to like deal with how overwhelming some of their emotions may be, it does kind of seem like they're channeling all that energy into like working or something like that. But with the Two of Pentacles being here, I think that they're still weighing their options, not in like terms of other people, but just like, okay, I can continue as usual, or I can be honest with this person and potentially face a lot of rejection. And I think right now, fear is beating love. I think that this person is still too afraid to maybe come forward and be honest about their feelings. And I think that this person does play things really cool. But the feelings that they have for you run really deep. And I think what goes through their mind is, how am I gonna make this work? How am I gonna fix this? And I think one thing that this person is realizing through surrendering is that they don't have to put the weight of this connection all on themselves. So if this person has been trying to improve this connection and maybe you haven't been receptive, then I would say that this person is definitely like just trying to allow the universe to do things. Like, this person does not want to push you. This person does not want you to do anything unless you genuinely want to do it. They don't want you to make them an offer because that's what they want. They want you to make them an offer because that's what you want. Things of that nature. They want you to want to work on things. They want you to want to be vulnerable with them. And if you don't want to do that, they don't want you to either. They want you to do whatever makes you happiest and what makes you the most comfortable. And I think that this is a sign that this person really does have genuine, authentic love and feelings for you, because there doesn't seem to be any conditions attached to how this person feels about you. It's just that I think this person has reached a point, like they have looked into the depths of their soul the same way a whale can dive to these deep depths. And I think that they've realized their love for you is not going to go anywhere. And so, even if there are difficult times or bad things that have happened between the two of you, I think at the end of the day, all this person wants is for you to be happy and for you to live the best life possible. And this person fully recognizes that if they don't add anything to your life, if they don't create any happiness in your life, then they shouldn't be a part of your life. And so that may be a reason why they're kind of holding off or holding back. So maybe they aren't interacting with you at all, but to them, it looks like you have a very happy, wonderful life going on, and they don't want to intrude on that. They don't want to impede on your peace, because it does kind of seem like it's hard for both of you to have peace when it comes to this situation. Maybe since you've known each other and you haven't known peace, and it's been something that you both have been working on. But I think more than anything, this person really just wants to work on this connection, and at the very least, like, come to some sort of understanding with one another. This person wants to speak their truth. They want to do right by you. They want to do right by themselves, because I think that this person recognizes, like, if they see you as somebody who's played it super cool and shit like that, they have too. And I think maybe they didn't realize that they were doing that as well. But I think one thing that they're realizing is that playing it cool isn't always... Our egos can be very elusive, and I think this person did not realize that that, you know, the ego is mainly there to protect us. And playing it cool is a form of self-preservation. And I think that this person is realizing that their love of self, the love that they're developing and the compassion that they have for themselves now, is giving them the freedom to be more expressive and honest about their feelings, because they know even if those feelings are unrequited, or even if those feelings aren't returned, that they'll be okay, and that their worth is not determined by how someone feels about them. It's determined by how they feel about themselves. And so they've been working hard to embrace their heart and allow their heart to speak to them, rather than being so afraid of what it's trying to say to them. So honestly, this person is in a very healthy energy. I think the thing is that they're just very in the dark when it comes to you. They don't know what's going on with you. They don't know what's going on at all. The Olympics could be significant in some way, or Greek mythology. I was just kind of like, these kind of looked like victory wreaths to me. And I think one thing that this person, honestly, I think they fantasize about is bringing balance to this connection. And I think for some, this person fantasizes about being in a committed relationship with you, or being in a committed relationship with you again, depending on your connection to this person. I also think that this person really fantasizes about just being able to be honest with you and speak their truth. I think if anything, they're manifesting or trying to manifest the opportunity to have a heart-to-heart with you. Because I think no matter what, this person wants to tell you the truth of their feelings, so that either they can truly move forward and move on, or so that they can hear your truth as well. Because maybe you feel the same way, and maybe you both have just been playing it super cool, or have been too afraid to be honest with one another. And so I feel like this person is thinking that they can't truly move forward, they can't truly move ahead until they speak their truth to you, until you speak their truth to them, until they have the opportunity to face this. Because I think that's the one thing that you guys have not done. So let's go ahead and get you some advice before we take this over into the extended. But let's see what advice Spirit has for you. So Spirit, what advice do you have for pile 1 when it comes to this connection? Advice do you have for pile 1 when it comes to this connection? Back of the deck energy is discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. So yeah, one thing I challenge you to do is to reflect on all the things that you thought would never happen in your life that already have. Because honestly, a lot of times, there's a lot of situations where it's just mind over matter. And I think that this is one of them, where you both have maybe put each other on pedestals. You both have made this situation more complicated than it needed to be, because you've overthought, you've ruminated, you've allowed. And like, this isn't to like shame you or anything like that. It's literally just to be aware of how, like, one beauty of being a child is that things can be like disgustingly simple. And I think that both of you have overcomplicated things, just trying to process things through your mental body. And so when this person stopped withholding how they felt about you, it's like the truth of this situation was just so fucking clear that they couldn't ignore it anymore. And it was like, oh, it's really that simple. And like, maybe this person needed to heal and transmute a lot of energy before that happened. But it's like they've healed a lot of the past with you, and they've realized that the only thing that they have left is their love for you. Like, they still adore you. And they know that that's something different, because if it were just infatuation, or it were just lust, or it were just, you know, karmic in some way, after this person healed these things, they would have realized that that was all it was meant to be, or that you were there to teach them a lesson. But it's like they've healed all of this, and their love for you hasn't gone anywhere. So now they're realizing, okay, enough time has passed at this point that I know this isn't something small. And the fact that we do have, you know, all of this major energy upright, I think it goes to show that this person is being honest about the fact that they have romantic feelings for you, romantic interest for you. I think they want to make moves towards you, or they want you to make moves towards them, or they're hoping that the universe will set them up in some way. I think that this person just doesn't know what to do yet, and so they are being passive until they do, or until the universe makes some sort of move. But let's continue. Denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. So this is really interesting because it like looks so similar to the Five of Wands. So I definitely think that this denial is on both sides, and maybe both of you have really struggled to accept or acknowledge the feelings that you have for one another, because it is really scary to admit things like that. It is really scary to like be honest about those sorts of things. But I think it's silly that as a society we think that being vulnerable with our emotions is something that makes you weak. Because truthfully, I think it's something that makes you really strong. Most people are not able to admit their feelings, which is why, you know, we get into situations like this. And I think that's maybe, you know, more so just the tendency for society to uphold and praise more masculine energy over more feminine energy. You know, masculine energy is much more logical and rational. And I think everybody, no matter what your identity is or what your predominant energy level or type of energy is, I think we all, if we don't naturally, as time goes on and we get older, I think we all start to feel shame for having emotions. I think we all start to feel shame for being honest about that. And I think we all kind of sort of slip into the idea that having emotions is having weakness, and we have to unlearn that. And maybe not all of us do that, but a good amount of us do. And so the people that do express emotion fearlessly are unfortunately shamed for it, or sometimes treated poorly for it, because the people around them can't handle that. We also have blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Yeah, I think both people here played the blame game, and it didn't really end very well. And I think the thing that will balance this situation out is both parties accepting that maybe there were fuck-ups on both sides, or both of you, like, neither of your shit stank more than the other. Like, it takes two to tango, and I think by accepting that it's your responsibility to create your own happiness, to create your own well-being and things like that, I think that will help you as well. This person is taking responsibility for their part of things, and maybe the universe is holding this situation back until you take responsibility for yours. We also have surrender. I can release my need to control. So if you want to take action towards this person, and you're not taking action because you don't know what the outcome will be or how they'll react, that is an example of you controlling the situation. So for example, you know, if you want to tell this person how you feel, you have to surrender what the outcome will be to the universe. So if you're honest with this person and they say, which I think they're gonna feel the same way. But if you were honest with this person and you say, you know, I have feelings for you, things like that, and they say, I don't feel the same, then that is indication of you've set yourself free. And if you're in a truly, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Surrendering the need to know the outcome and doing something anyway, and knowing that even if something hurts, that you will recover from it and grow stronger from it, can be incredibly freeing. But also surrendering to your own urges to express things or do things, and trust that maybe the signs are telling you to do something for a reason, and surrendering the need to know why that is will be incredibly helpful. You know, the universe doesn't really give us long, detailed explanations of why things are or why things have to be. They usually give us disgustingly simple explanations, and they ask us to trust it and follow it. And usually after you follow it and you do the things, you realize in retrospect that the universe was right and that you greatly benefited from it. It's the same thing, like my channel, for example. I didn't start uploading videos regularly until I released the fear of exposing myself, you know? I can't control how people see me if I'm putting myself out here and expressing myself. But when I surrender the need to control that and recognize that there's going to be people that are wonderful to me and there's going to be people that are absolute pricks to me, and I can't help that. I can't control that. But what I can control is how I view myself, and if I'm hurt, I know how to regulate myself, take care of myself, and do what I need to make sure that I feel good and recognize that it has nothing to do with me and everything to do with that person. There's a lot that we don't realize that we don't do because we're afraid of what may happen. We can't control the outcome. And so I think that in this case, Spirit is asking you not to worry about the outcome, but ask what will be most healing for you. If that's doing nothing, then don't do anything. If that's doing something, then do something. But don't make a decision unless you're making it with conviction. Because, you know, if you're doing something with the hope or expectation of an outcome, that's not going to be very helpful. That's doing something that's not coming from a place of authenticity, if that makes sense. Coming from a place of authenticity is kind of the surrender energy, where you're putting yourself out there, you're being vulnerable, you're being honest, and you're accepting whatever that outcome is going to be. Because you know that it's probably better to be honest than it is to keep this energy suppressed and pretend like it doesn't exist. But pile 1, I think I'm going to leave this reading here. If you're interested in checking out the extended, we are going to be looking at this person's 18 plus, what goes through their mind in an 18 plus version. When they see you. But if you're leaving me here, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads. This is the simplest and easiest way to support me. But if you would like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can check out my social media, you can check out the extended, or you can check out my merch, which is also linked below. Thank you to your guides, my guides, and you and your person for letting me read your energies and for being here and for letting me read your cards. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you all come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 2. If you guys chose the Scolecite stone and the Synesthesia Tarot, this is going to be your reading, but to make sure you found the right reading or that this is even going to resonate for you, we are going to see how this person is seeing themselves and then how they're seeing you. And these 2 cards are going to represent the connection overall. So to start, we have self-worth and we have Mother Earth. And then one thing I do want to say is, because we're asking what goes through their mind when they see you, and we're doing this based on how they see themselves and how they see you, do be aware that it's being filtered through their perception. So it doesn't mean that's the objective reality, or it doesn't mean what I'm channeling is the objective truth. It just means that's what this person is perceiving, and that's how they're seeing things. So in terms of how this person sees themselves, we have the Empty Room, we have the Scorpion, we have the Samaritan. The light aspects refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore, and the shadow attribute is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help that you offer. And finally, we have Journey. I just heard thankless, whatever that means. And then how they see you. Ironically, we have the Unseen. We have Teacher, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. The shadow attribute is manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits and destructive skills. Not saying they see you exactly that way, but we also have Yin, because this is Yin Yang. And you actually got 2 animal cards. So we have the Buffalo and we have the Wolf. So how does this person see you? Pile 2. Well, let's start with how they see themselves, because they're trying to get it together. Starting with the empty room here, I think that this is like very straightforward. I don't know why my bells are going off like that, but go off. It's kind of literal. This person does not feel too, well, I don't even want to say they don't feel too great. I don't think they're feeling much at all, if anything. I think really the only thing that this person is capable of feeling right now is anger, and the thing is like not a lot of the emotions that they're truly feeling are anger, but they're manifesting as anger because it seems like that's one of the few emotions this person allows themselves to have. One thing that I will say, like straight out the gate, is I don't know what kind of relationship this is, or if it was, or like the type of connection it was. But I say was because it feels like whatever the case is, like this connection feels non-existent to, or like seems like it's in separation or something like that. I mean, whatever it is, the vibe that I get is like y'all are not together. I just heard like I don't fuck with them. So that could be something, like maybe you don't fuck with this person or something like that. When I look at this empty room, I just start hearing Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo. So I don't know if there was like a really painful ending here, or just because honestly, for some of you, I get the vibe like this person just straight up like disappeared or ran away or something like that. But for whatever reason, they feel scorned by you. They feel like this Samaritan card is really getting me, especially the shadow attribute. Exacting appreciation and recognition for the help that you offer. I feel like this person with peace and love is a little bit entitled. It kind of seems like they feel like you owe them more than what you've given them, and that could be why they walked away. One thing that I'm feeling like with the empty room is like this person may feel like they gave everything to you, or gave their all to you, and they feel like they didn't get the energy that they wanted in return, or they didn't benefit from this connection, is the vibe that I'm getting, especially because with this empty room card, it feels like this person has nothing. In fact, like I just heard like picked up and moved out, so maybe this person just moved away, or like just relocated like out of nowhere or something like that. It definitely feels like this person has no idea who they are in general, and they are working really hard to figure out who that is, or when they look in the mirror, they're trying to figure out who that is. But I feel like with this Samaritan card, I think that this person defined their worth based on like how helpful they could be to people, or like how generous they perceive themselves to be. And I feel like when they don't get the right reaction out of people, or they don't get the response that they want, they can be kind of volatile. And maybe that's something that they've realized about themselves as of recently, but I don't think that they're comfortable with that. And I don't know how comfortable they feel about facing you, because when we look at these two cards here, we have Mother Earth, which is this chakra right here. So this is the root chakra, and I think it's called like the Earth Star chakra, but like that's a mouthful, so I just say the mega root chakra. So you guys got the mega root chakra and this self-worth card, and so I definitely think that you both right now are working on your own self-worth. No matter what type of connection this is or was, I definitely feel like it did a number on the both of you in terms of your self-esteem and your value, like as a human. I'm having trouble breathing normally. I know in a past reading, I was about to have a panic attack, and I said that I couldn't like breathe, like I couldn't stop breathing, and like people were like, well, yeah, that's a good thing, so you're supposed to breathe. I'm like, yeah, no shit, I'm supposed to breathe, but I couldn't. I was having a panic attack, can't always pay attention to my words. But this is the opposite. I'm having trouble actually breathing. And I think that there's some major, like, I don't know if it's beef or because here's the thing. The what we lose when we channel from this perspective is objectivity, at least on your end. So I have a harder time knowing where you stand, where you personally stand with this person, or like where you're coming from, because this person feels like extra scorned or like bitter or angry for some reason. Like it's very harsh. And with this fire energy here, I'm not saying that this person is a fire sign, but the Scorpio, like this does kind of have like Aries or Scorpio energy, because they're both ruled by Mars. They certainly don't have to have those placements though. Honestly, it feels more Scorpio than anything, because it feels very like hidden. Like this seems like a person who can keep it pretty cool on the outside, but just be like absolutely raging or fuming on the inside. And it seems like with this Mother Earth card, you both are kind of going back to basics and are in the process of being reborn in a way. But the interesting like difference is, I feel like you're less affected by this than this person is. Because from this person's perspective, like you're pretty established and like you're fine. One thing that this person is noting is that you've taught them a lot, but I think they're disappointed by your lack of action towards them, if that makes sense. And it's kind of ironic that we have the unseen showing up here, because it seems like this person is either deliberately avoiding you, or they're making an effort to not see you. So like if you're on social media, they might be making a deliberate effort to like not look at your posts or something like that. Or they may feel like you're avoiding them. No matter the case though, it's like they don't need to see you. They feel your energy at times, and I think it's kind of frustrating for them, especially at night, I would say, with this yin yang card coming out upright. But with the buffalo and the wolf here, I think that this person sees you as somebody who's like tough. Like with the buffalo talks about being grounded but spiritual and being really powerful. I don't know if y'all have ever seen like a buffalo in real life, but actually a couple weeks ago I saw the head of a buffalo. It was like taxidermied in someone's house, and I was like, holy shit, that is like a big majestic animal. And I was just like in awe by this damn buffalo for like a while. And so that is partially, that actually honestly partially is what led me to the vibe that this person is probably jealous of you in some way, or is insecure by you, by your success, or by your abilities in some way. And I think that makes this a lot harder, especially if this is a romantic connection of some kind, because it does seem like this person, whoever they are, kind of got in their own way with this connection, because you seem to be a more solitary person, especially with this wolf card being here. I know the whole lone wolf thing is like a myth or something like that. Sorry, Spirit was just making gross jokes in my head about the Omega verse. If you've ever, the Omega verse, I probably didn't enunciate that well. If you've never heard of the Omega verse, I would check out Lindsay Ellis. She's wonderful and does a pretty good job of, anyway, Spirit was talking about that, but anyway, and I was like, ew, save it for the extended. Anyway, I think this person sees you as somebody who, I just heard a tough nut to crack. And I think in this case, it is the fact that you're either not easily manipulated, or this person could no longer manipulate you. Because one thing that I'm seeing is that your self-worth has gotten a lot stronger. And I think it was truthfully more solid than this person thought to begin with. And I think one thing that this person really did not enjoy about your connection is that they had to see all the things within them that they didn't really like through you. It's like they saw all these things that they couldn't see before through their connection with you. And I think that was really, really uncomfortable for them. You both also, though, I do want to say, you both could have definitely like enabled one another's like bad traits or bad habits. But I do feel like this person sees themselves in like, it's hard because this person seems to be kind of pretty negative, and it's like they want to see the better aspects of themselves, and like they're trying to build up their self-worth. But this person gives with the expectation of receiving. They don't give purely because they want to give. And I think that is a problem. And maybe that's something that they're not seeing. Actually, what I just realized too is we have 2 here and we have 22 here. And it almost feels like this person sees you as double of what they are, and that like you're a lot better than them, and that they could see you as somebody very balanced, as somebody that they can't shake, somebody that they can't take. And so it's almost like they ran away rather than facing their own insecurities when it comes to this connection. And I think that this definitely could have hurt you in a lot of ways, because we have the buffalo and we have the scorpion like facing each other, but we have this wolf facing straight on. And so I would say that you probably don't get much energy, contact, anything in general from this person, probably because you either don't want to, or you're confused or sad or hurt. I do want to say that I think a lot of this person's problems are of their own making. I think this person gets in their own way a lot, and I think that their own mind is their mind is their own worst enemy. And actually something really interesting about giving, I actually just got this download yesterday when I was walking outside, and it kind of made me understand why Mother Earth is like the pinnacle example of feminine energy, is because my guides just talk to me in my head like all the time, and we'll just have chats, and or sometimes I'll be thinking about something and they'll give me like answers, and it's really fascinating. And I think that's actually what was happening. I don't think I was deliberately talking to them, but I can't remember, if I'm being perfectly honest. But I was just thinking about how, you know, motherhood is an incredibly like thankless job. Of course, parenthood in general, but motherhood as well. And my guides were like, of course, like Earth is the original mother that like sustains all life, and what do we do to her? Like, we barely even give her a thank you or try to protect her. We just use and abuse her resources, and now we're looking for another planet to do the same thing. So trying to just... Anyway, I feel like you both maybe... My point of all that, which I just kind of got distracted, sorry, ADD. Well, technically ADHD. Madison, on track. Okay. The point of all that is, I think that this person is learning a big lesson in giving for the right reasons right now. And I think you're also learning about receiving for the right reasons. Like maybe you're the type of person to receive certain things from this person, like help, for example, because they insisted or because they wanted to, and then maybe you would be like confused when they were upset when you didn't give them what they wanted in return, or things like that is the vibe that I'm getting. And I think both of you are realizing, I don't know if this relationship was like transactional or mutually beneficial in some way, but I almost feel like this person, it's almost like this person wanted to sting you, and maybe they did, and maybe they were hoping that it would hurt you more. And if it did hurt you really badly, they haven't seen that. And I think that's part of like what makes them angry, is like they almost wanted their absence in your life to be a bigger issue than it is. Whereas you're just like, yeah, okay. I think on your end there's some either like confusion, or like you want to talk things out, understand things better. But I feel like you're not going to be the one to instigate this. And I think this person knows that. Because I think this person is the one that like took action to sever this connection in some way. And with the self-worth card here, I think that you both now are on this journey of like, you know, seeing your true worth, discovering who you truly are. And I think for you, you're probably seeing how strong you are. But for this person, I think they're realizing that they either messed up a good thing or allowed their own insecurities to stop them from having like a good relationship with you, whatever that type of relationship was. And one thing with this Scorpion card here is that like I almost wonder if it's just in this person's nature somewhat to like self-sabotage or ruin a good thing. I don't know, it's interesting. I can't understand this person fully, which is what leads me to believe they have even more Scorpio energy, because they're not really letting me in fully. And they're definitely not letting me know if there's deeper emotions attached to this connection, because they feel like they lost in some way. They feel like they lost, and I think that they now feel lost. And they look over in your direction, or they see you doing well, or they don't even know, or they hear about you doing well, or they hear about what you're up to. And I think it makes them angry in some way. It makes them feel scorned, because the way that this Samaritan and this Scorpion card, you know, just kind of go hand in hand in terms of color. I really feel like this person thinks that they deserve more, that they deserved better from you, or that they deserve something that they didn't get. But over here on your end, what I'm really seeing is that they see you as somebody who's doing just fine. And maybe they pick up on the fact that maybe you're curious about them at times. But I think you both are I think you more so than them are focused on your own growth and development and being your best self. And I think this person is focused on finding themselves and figuring out who they are. But nonetheless, like both of you, I think are just working on improving yourselves, improving your self-esteem. I definitely think that whatever type of connection this was, it really did a doozy on the both of you. But I think this person assumes that you're just fine and like they're the only one suffering. And like I said, I think that's an assumption, not the real truth. But yeah, this person has some tricky energy. So we're gonna go ahead and see now what's going through their minds when they do actually see you. So I don't know and this actually may be what goes through their mind when they think about you, or they see you in their mind's eye or something like that, because it kind of seems like they're either trying to avoid you or they want to avoid you because of how you make them feel. These are hard to shuffle, by the way. So I gave these a good shuffle off camera, because they're not the most, so they're not the easiest to shuffle, like I was saying. I'm really scatterbrained in this pile. That's one thing I notice. So I don't know if that's how y'all are feeling or that's how this person is feeling, but I definitely feel like scatterbrained and distracted and like kind of half here right now. But let's see, Spirit, what goes through pile 2's person's mind when they see pile 2? 3 of Pentacles. There could have been something work related here. The Magician. Something that you've cultivated for yourself. They're like, I want that. Yeah. Okay. 8 of Pentacles. So double work energy clarified by the Chariot. That's also interesting. I typically lay them out this way. So I guess Spirit has other ideas. Okay. We have the Hanged Man in reverse. Okay. Can we clarify the Hanged Man in reverse, please? That's too many. Can we clarify the Hanged Man in reverse, please? Okay, yeah, we have the 7 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I just heard, like, this person made their bed and now they have to lie in it. Okay, yeah, we have the Ace of Swords upright. We have the 10 of Cups upright. And then we have the 4 of Cups. And clarifying the 4 of Cups, we have 2 cards. Okay, yeah, we have the 10 of Swords on the back of the deck, so that's pretty apt. Yeah, okay, and we have the 8 of Swords upright and the Page of Cups in reverse. So this is really interesting because in my head, I was like, so no cups are going to come out here, Spirit? And then as I did that, that's when we got the 10 of Cups. But this person is interesting. They're very confusing. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Because let's be real here. There was definitely an ending of some kind. And I don't think either of you took it very well. But especially not this person. And you might be sitting here like what the fuck? Like, this person literally created this. Like, of course, like, how are they not taking it well? Like, that, like, you did this. But this person is really trying very hard to either get on your level in some way or bury themselves in their own work so that they don't have to think about what happened here, whatever did happen. With the 3 of Pentacles clarified by the Magician, I feel like they are really trying to create their own success right now. So I don't know if you have like a successful business or endeavor or something like that. But they I think that they really wanted to be, I just heard like ride your coattails. So maybe this person was a little opportunistic or was hoping that if they stuck around and were generous towards you, that you would be generous in a financial way towards them. Because there's a lot of there's a lot of fear here. And it's not fear of you. That's what's so weird. It's like fear that they won't be better than you or something. This is so weird, especially if this is a romantic connection. So I don't know if this is a romantic connection for a lot of you, but it could be, because we definitely have like the 10 of Cups and the Page of Cups in reverse. Maybe you didn't want to make it work with this person and they feel a little bit burned by that. But with the 3 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles being here, clarify both the Magician and the Chariot, it's like they think about like what you've cultivated for yourself, and they think about the fact that like you don't need them, and that like they might have convinced themselves that you were using them this whole time, or that you were never interested in them in the first place. But I don't know how real that is. Like, I feel like maybe this is the type of person who needs like a lot of reassurance about their value and worth in your life. And maybe you just got tired of that. Like, maybe you just stopped kind of playing into that, or like maybe you just didn't have the time or energy for that kind of I don't want to say the word neediness, but that was the word that Spirit was feeding me. But it definitely seems like this person feels like they were manipulated in some way, or they feel like they, and like, I swear I just heard a voice in my head go, what? And that might be like, because you might be like, actually, so the roles reversed, and I believe you. Like, I believe you. I'm really struggling to read this person's energy, because it is so like, that's what you get from that? And like, really? That's what's okay. Like, I'm trying my best here. I'm trying my best. But like I said, it's filtered through their perception. And I definitely feel like this person has this very like woe is me attitude, and they're like, oh wow, like pile 2 has gone from the 3 of Pentacles to the 8 of Pentacles. Like, look at, and what do I have? 5 Pentacles. That's how they see themselves, is like this 5 of Pentacles energy. Like, they have nothing. And it's almost like they gave what very little they had to you, and you didn't appreciate it, is like the vibe that I'm getting, which I'm just like, what? I mean, this could be real. I don't want to invalidate this person's perspective. I am just sitting here as a completely unbiased third party that is just confused. But with this Hanged Man in reverse and this 7 of Swords in reverse, this is what's really getting me. Because, oh, did I just put my fingerprint? Oh my God, my fingerprint's on there. That's so cool. They have not let go of either what they've done to you, or whatever thing you did to cause them to do what they did to you. And now you might be even more confused. I think that's because this person perceives, this person takes things really personally, and they perceive things to be slights on them that maybe you had no clue about, or like did not fly on your radar. Because I feel like with the 7 of Swords in reverse, it's like, let's just say that if this person ghosted you and like walked away, and you never had like a conversation or a discussion about like what happened or what went down, I feel like this person either realized that they messed up, or like that they created this with this Ace of Swords clarified by the 10 of Cups, or they like don't want to face you because they don't want to then discover that maybe they were the ones being sneaky or being shady all along. I feel like this person worries about what you say to other people about them. They worry about like what you think of them. I actually think that this situation really, really plays on them. Yeah. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like they wanted something from you that you didn't give them. And it like weighs on, it weighs on them how they treated you, I think. I think it weighs on them how they went about everything. And like, I think it weighs on them as well how maybe their own problematic mindset created more problems in this situation. And with this 10 of Swords, I almost feel like this person, like, I think they continue to hurt themselves by thinking about these events. Like, even if you've moved on, I feel like they continue to hurt themselves, and they live under this assumption that you're doing the same thing. But I don't know if you are. Because I do feel like either this person like misses you, which for some of you, you're gonna be like, that's great, I don't miss them at all. But for others, I do get the vibe that maybe you're just like confused. But the thing is, with this Ace of Swords, 10 of Cups, for some, I do feel like this person could have realized that like they created a lot of this unhappiness, or like they created discord or disharmony within this connection. But for others, I feel like either because there has been some distance here or like a lack of communication on both ends, like this connection seems to not have much energy on like the physical level being invested into it. I feel like this person is looking at you and being like, oh, I knew it. They're much happier without me, or they never needed me in the first place. Like I wasn't important, or I wasn't needed. I mean, this person is very like, they're very guilty of having like self-fulfilling prophecies where they almost create the outcome that they worry about so much in their head because they focus so much on it, and then their actions follow suit and kind of create that energy. But when they see you, when they think about you, they think that you're way better off and much happier without them, that you don't need them at all, and that I think they're both jealous and impressed of either your success on a material level, or your success just in terms of like, from their perspective, cultivating a life of happiness and gratitude is another one that I heard. But with this Four of Cups here, with the Page of Cups and the Eight of Swords in reverse, I think one thing that Spirit is saying when it comes to this person is that they may be looking for a way to get back into your life, but I think one thing that you kind of require is an apology. And I think that is not something that they are willing to give at this time, at least. I think that this person is really dissatisfied with their life, or just dissatisfied with where this connection is, probably both, if I'm being honest. But when it comes to the Eight of Swords being here, I definitely get this vibe like they do kind of create their own mental prison where they re-traumatize themselves and they harm themselves over and over by like their brain. They don't have a very good headspace, and I don't really think that they take much action to deal with that. I think that it's something that really I want to be compassionate to this person, but I will say I do not envy them. Like, I do not wish that I had this perspective, and I don't think anyone else does either. Watching this, I'm sure you could probably like pick up the vibe, like, yeah, maybe. I think one thing that you need to know is that it's a lot more them than it is you. Like, maybe you did have difficulties in this connection. Maybe you didn't see eye to eye. But I think that this person really is their own worst enemy and like their own biggest bully. I really feel like this person plays the blame game a lot. Like, especially with this Eight of Swords here, it's like they're looking in every single direction for why their life is bad, or for why their life sucks or is meaningless, and they're not even realizing that there's always been an opportunity for them to change things, for them to grow and improve. And with this Page of Cups in reverse, it's almost like I feel like this person is going to continue wandering, looking for like the right answers. And it's funny I said that, because I don't believe in the concept of the right answers. They're just answers that feel right to you. This person is trying to find their truth, essentially, is what they're trying to tell me. I just heard "don't cry for me" in my head. So like, I feel like this person is trying like not to like, I feel like they probably haven't talked to you or communicated with you because they don't want your pity. They don't want anything like that. But I also think that they're maybe just a bit embarrassed to admit like how their behavior could kind of create their own outcomes. With this Page of Cups in reverse, I feel like this person is going to continue to kind of drift until they are willing and able to kind of step into their own power again and take life by the reins. I feel like this person thinks that they're a lot more powerless than they truly are. And I think that's because this person gives their power away to people rather than empowering themselves. So is there anything else, Spirit? Spirit is coming in with a very compassionate perspective, which I appreciate. The biggest thing they're saying is that this person just needs a hug. And that doesn't mean that they need one from you. Because I don't think that this person would even, like, accept a hug. I don't think that this person, like, this person is very angry and bitter at, like, everything and everyone right now, which is interesting because we don't have a lot, like, we don't even have any fire here to indicate that. But that's because, first of all, it's the energy I'm feeling. And second, it's because I don't think that this person, like, because this is what's actually going on. Oh my God, yeah, because I said it in the very beginning. I was like, this person feels anger, but what they're actually feeling is a ton of other different emotions that they don't allow themselves to feel, and it all comes through as anger because that's the only acceptable emotion that it's the only emotion they deem acceptable. But yeah, the biggest thing that this person needs is a hug and love. And I think Spirit is stressing that it shouldn't come from you, and that it doesn't need to come from you, because this person needs to realize that for themselves, and I think that they will get there. But I think the unfortunate thing for you is that you may have been caught up in a situation where maybe you really did care about this person, you really cared about their well-being, you cared about the connection, and they could have gotten in the way of that and sabotage something that was really meaningful to the both of you. And you know, I think that's an unfortunate part of life, but that doesn't mean that you have to clean up this person's messes and excuse the pain that they may have caused you. But if you remember, you know, scorpions are very small, and they saw you as like a bison and a wolf, and I don't think that that's like physically they see you as much bigger than them, which they could. But I think this just more so goes to the idea that this person sees themselves as a lot smaller than they see you. They see you as much more powerful. But before we get into the extended, which is going to be 18 plus, and we're gonna see what goes through their mind about you in a sexual way, which, I mean, I guess this is not a romantic connection, and that may not resonate unless it's friends with, I mean, it could be friends with benefits, y'all could be friends, I don't know. Check it out if you want to. But we're gonna get advice now. But I did just want to say that that's what we're gonna do. I'm kind of nervous, I'm not gonna lie, to see what's gonna come through there. But I guess we'll just have to see. But we're gonna finish off with some advice for you, pile 2. So, Spirit, what advice do you have for pile 2 when it comes to this connection? We have grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Yeah. And so maybe as well, this has been beneficial for you because you've been able to take a step back. Yeah, Tower. So yeah, maybe the way that this ended was very upsetting for you, or just very shocking. And I think maybe you've learned a lot of important lessons from that, maybe you can't always trust or rely on certain people, or you never know what you're going to get sometimes. But I think that you... one, it's okay to grieve whatever happened here, but 2, you know, it's very interesting that this happiness card is underneath, because it says, I'm aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. And so if you're happier without this person, I think that means that you're on the right path. But also, I got this on a card once, and I'm not using that deck today, but I just think it's really apt. It says something like, when you lost someone, what did you gain in their absence? And I would challenge you to think what you have gained, because I know that, like, situations like this are never easy, but just gaining things like peace of mind can be huge. But let's see what else Spirit had to say. Okay, so we have growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So one thing that I'm seeing here is that You know, sometimes when people can't really aid or facilitate our growth any longer, Spirit will remove them from our lives without really an explanation why. But I think Spirit is saying that you deserve to have people in your life that challenge you to expand your consciousness and your awareness. You shouldn't, because we did have teacher there. As for how they saw you. And so I think that you're probably, well, not probably, you're definitely more spiritually advanced and just more mature than this person. And I think Spirit is saying, like, you don't have to be, like, there are people that are on your level or above your level in terms of, like, expansion and consciousness. And Spirit, I feel like, is saying, like, they want you to be around more of those types of people. Like, they don't want you to have to sell yourself short or belittle yourself in order to, or make yourself smaller in order to meet this person halfway. We also have blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Yeah, I know for a fact this person plays the blame game. But if you're playing that as well, I think Spirit is saying, you know, like, it's hard to deal with these certain things, but at the end of the day, you have to accept responsibility for your own well-being, and so does this person. So if they're blaming all their issues on you, you know, you can say, like, you know, I have to take care of myself, and it's not my job to take care of them as well. You accept responsibility for your well-being the same way they need to. And we also have freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. And I think this is really beautiful, because maybe this situation, maybe in this situation you felt a lack of freedom, and maybe that's something that you've gained since this connection ended, is that you don't need to rely on this person to be happy. You don't need this person's attention or affection or presence in your life in order to make you truly happy. And maybe now you have the freedom to be yourself without being judged or criticized or things like that. And I think Spirit is saying, you know, you don't need anybody but your own self-worth in order to create this happiness for yourself. And you are so powerful, and this person definitely sees your power. And I think that's one thing they kind of beat themselves up for, is they don't understand why they can't have as much power as you. And I think they would realize if they did a little bit of self-reflection that they could get there themselves. But it's not your job to show them the way. That's Spirit's and this person's. So pile 2, I'm gonna leave this reading here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. But if you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can check out the extended, which will be linked directly beneath that, or you can check out my merch. Thank you guys so much for watching this reading, and I really hope that gave you some clarity and insight. It may not be the most comforting reading in the world, but hopefully at least it clarified some things. Do I have anything else to say? I thank you to your guides, my guides, all the guides that communicated through me today. And thank you so much for being here and for supporting me and allowing me to read your energy and this person's energy. I really hope that you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 3. If you guys chose the Aura Coated Rose Quartz and the Moon Void Tarot, this is going to be your reading on what goes through this person's mind when they see you. So to start, we're going to look at the objective energy within this connection, and then we are going to see how this person sees themselves, and then in turn how they see you. So to start, we have abundance with the root chakra, and we have limitless. I want to actually, yeah, that feels better. Okay, so in terms of how this person sees themselves, we have the Judge, we have the Mouse. Virgo energy intensifies. So this person could have some Virgo in their chart. They certainly don't have to. We also have the Garden and the Gate, and we have Visionary. The light attribute is capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. And the shadow attribute is selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. Okay, and then let's talk about how they see you. So to start, we have the kiss, which now I'm just hearing started out with the kiss. How did it end up like this? Okay. Anyway, we have the dolphin. We have door to personal healing and happiness. And we have saboteur. Highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. And the shadow attribute is induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. So this is really cool. I really like this energy, actually. I don't know where you and this person are at. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't really think the semantics matter. Whether this is a newer connection or one that has had its ups and downs, it has some history, or whatever the case may be, the energy that you're both in is actually really promising. The fact that we have abundance with the root chakra here, I think that you both are in the process of recognizing that you're so blessed and gifted and grateful is like the vibe that I'm getting for what you both already have in your lives. And I also feel like with Limitless, I think that you both are in the process of shedding any limiting beliefs, shedding any societal expectations, shedding anything that is no longer serving the both of you. I think you both are awakening to your souls. I think you have more so than this person. We'll get into them. I think you're just kind of further along on your journey than this person is. And in fact, I think that your connection is kind of forcing them to evolve. But you both are overcoming a lot. So let's start with this person, because starting with the Judge, the book talks about how important this archetype is, because it has the ability to see, you know, what is fair, what is just, what is true. But when it's in a fearful, when this archetype is in a very fearful, unempowered place, it can be very critical and judgmental and harsh of themselves and others. And coincidentally, we also had the Mouse, which goes to show that this person is a more fearful person. And maybe this energy is definitely positively impacting them, but they're not fully out of their own difficult energies as of this time. This person is like exceptionally critical of themselves and has like insanely high standards for what they expect of themselves. And in fact, I feel like nothing is ever good enough for them. Not because, which is interesting, because I think they're very good at like objectively viewing other people's accomplishments and being like, oh my God, they're amazing. And like, wow. Like, I feel like this person can really dish out compliments, but cannot like receive them. And I think that this person massively underestimates their value and their worth in other people's lives. And I think they massively underestimate their intelligence and their ability to like see beyond the bullshit of things. Because with this Judge here, y'all have heard the term ignorance is bliss. I think that this person wishes that they were dumber because they have not yet learned how to conquer their mind. They may be working on it. Well, they probably are working on it because we have this Limitless card here. But they're trying to evolve and improve. But like they take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So their progress is kind of like a little bit slower at times. But this person does have very powerful gifts with visionary and the Judge here. This person has a really sharp mind, a really quick wit. They're really impressive, if I'm gonna be honest. But I think the thing is that they are afraid of being, I was gonna say, a little fish in a big pond, even though they're a little mouse. It's like they like being the big mouse in their comfort zone. With the Garden and the Gate here, I feel like this person recognizes that they are somebody who does not like to leave their comfort zone, and they can be quite rigid and exact with how they like things. I even noticed, like, within this Judge card, like, there's really harsh, like, rigid lines, and, like, I just feel like this person can be very clenched at times, and it's hard for them to kind of relax and, like, let go and just allow things to be. I think that they get very worked up easily. I think that they have a more nervous energy and can be very nitpicky. And you've had a wonderful effect on them. So let's talk about how they see you. Because no matter what, like, whether this connection is still a thing or not, like, first of all, I'm just gonna say right now, if you were asking about something that isn't romantic, I don't know if you're gonna find it here, because, like, we do have this kiss coming out here, but you have really changed the game for this person, because I think that they thought a lot of their ability to heal, a lot of their ability to be happy, a lot of their ability to enjoy life was something that they could never have. And I think through seeing you, through seeing how you operate, how you live your life, and just who you are as a person, I feel like they realize now that the only thing keeping them gated in is themselves. The only thing holding them back is themselves. And if you're in a relationship with this person, you have just completely changed the game. You have sabotaged all of, like, these limiting beliefs that made them feel like there was no reason to leave their garden. Now it's like they're able to envision all these things that they couldn't see before, and it's like your healing has a positive effect on them. Because if you see this Dolphin card, you could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You don't have to be, though. I do think I do think that this goes to show the profound feelings that this person has for you. With this Dolphin card being here, I really think that this person, like, they see you as somebody that has a very happy-go-lucky energy, but I don't think you have that with everyone. I think you just have that with this person because you're very happy to be around them. And the physical connection between the two of you is something that this person really, really enjoys. In fact, this person might be slightly afraid of their feelings for you, especially because I think that one thing that they're really intimidated by is your ability to kind of sabotage beliefs or things things that they've held in their brain for a long time. It's like you come in and just completely flip the script. It's like this person thought the sky was green their entire life, and then you come in and you're like, oh yeah, the sky's blue. And they're like, what? And they're like, yeah, like, the sky is blue. And they see it a different way, and they're like, holy shit, the sky is blue. Like, I thought it was green this whole time. Like, obviously that's a really dumb example, but it's like things that they've always seen the same way. You come in and you've changed how they see those things. And honestly, I think maybe one of the things that they've seen in a very harsh, critical light is romance and, like, connections in general with people. I think that maybe one thing that this person liked was kind of keeping everyone outside and harshly. I feel like this person sometimes, like, with peace and love, kind of enjoys being a bit of a Grinch. Like, this has some Aquarius, like, I'm not like other girls energy. But not completely. This person is really such a huge compassionate sweetheart. But I do think at times, and this is more of their immature-ish energy that they're growing out of, but they could have had this very, like, they could have had just a lot of disdain for loving connections and things like that, because this person may have thought that makes somebody weak. But one really cool thing that I noticed is that you guys chose this aura coated rose quartz, and it just, like, fits the vibe of these two cards so well. And so it's almost just like maybe this is what your aura looks like to this person, but it's like you've literally like brought color to their world. You've made their world so much brighter, and it's like now where there was only darkness, it's like your influence is starting to come in with these, you know, little colorful dots, and remind them that just because they do know a lot doesn't mean they know everything, and just because they do have a lot of valuable insights doesn't mean that other people don't. I think that either this person has the desire to kiss you, or if you have kissed them before, or if you've been physically intimate with them, I feel like the first kiss with this person like melted something within them. And I think that it was like something couldn't be unbroken after that. I feel like you're so compassionate and sweet towards this person that like they can't be harsh and critical towards you. Like it literally would be like, it reminds me of Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Gosh, the story about the albatross. I can't remember what it's called. And I mentioned it in another reading before. I just know that the author is Samuel Taylor Coleridge, I think. But it's a story about an albatross that gets shot. You're kind of like the albatross, but this person like doesn't want to harm you in any way. They recognize that you're precious and you're helping them. And I think just what really makes them afraid with this saboteur energy is it's hard, especially for somebody like this who does kind of grip on to truths like very tightly. It's very hard for them to have to completely rewire what they believe, or rewire or refigure out what the truth is for themselves when they thought they had it figured out. I think one thing that this person is realizing is like, shit, like how much brain power have I wasted being so certain about something that I didn't even have any clue about. But this person sees you as someone incredibly healing. They're very inspired by the healing that you've done. And I think that they aspire to reach the same levels that you have. And with this dolphin card here, like I feel like they see you as somebody just so happy and joyful and fun, and they love being around you. They love being with you. Well, Spirit just said something that we're gonna have to say for the extended, but they just are so blown away by you. They see the world in you. They see things about you that they wish you could see in yourself, but you just have this very healing magnetic energy, and this person can't help but want to let go of the old version of them because they feel so powerful and unstoppable when they're around you. I don't know why I just got this, but if anyone watched the Amanda Show way back in the day, this saboteur card made me think of Moody's Point, which is like their take. I think it was supposed to be making fun of like Dawson's Creek or something like that. But her mom was like stuck in a hot air balloon. Like that was just like part of like her mom was just always gone. Like, and they would just show like images, or like not images, but like clips of her like calling out to her daughter just like in this hot air balloon. And I don't really know what this has to do with this reading at all. So comment down below if that has some significance to you. But Spirit was just showing me like her mom in that, like in the hot air balloon, like calling out for her. And maybe too, this person feels like it's almost like they heard your soul's call to find them. So like maybe your meeting was very fated. Maybe this is a soul connection of some kind, or maybe they feel like maybe they recognize that you both felt lost before you found each other or something like that. And maybe no matter where this connection is at, I feel like even if you're not with this person or you're not communicating with this person, I really do think that this connection has allowed the both of you to recognize where you need to be more grateful for what you do have, and also recognize that maybe you're limiting beliefs aren't as strong as you deem them to be, and that maybe you both are capable of a lot more than you think you are. So I want to go ahead and see what goes through this person's mind, because I love this energy and I'm excited to see what they think of you, because they I feel giddy, just like I'm grinning from ear to ear right now. Like, I really hope that this is like a good, happy connection and that you both are like happy together, because I'm happy just sitting in this energy. We'll give these a couple good shuffles and then we will get into it. But like I said earlier, we will have an extended today, and it is going to be 18+. So if anyone is interested in it, it is just going to be the same topic, but you know, just a lot more unhinged and talking about things that I can't talk about on YouTube. But this is the Moon Void Tarot, if anyone was curious. I really, 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 really like it. Okay. So, Spirit, what goes through pile 3's person's mind when they see pile 3, please? Okay. We have, what is this? That's the 7 of Wands, upright. And we have the 3 of Swords, upright. We have the 4 of Swords in reverse. We have the 2 of Wands in reverse. We have the Emperor in reverse. Okay, can we clarify the 7 of Wands, please? What the fuck is this? Black Diamond in reverse. Okay, that is a card only for this deck. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups upright. One thing that I just heard right away is like, how could anyone hurt you? Like, how could anyone like hurt your sweet soul? Like, I almost want to cry just hearing that, because first of all, that's so sweet, and also like, yeah, seriously, how can anyone hurt you, pile 3? Like, I'm with your person. Like, honestly, if they have a torch and pitchfork, like, let me know. Give me the address. I'll show up with mine too. Like, who hurt you? I will go with them. We have the High Priestess in reverse, clarifying the 4 of Swords in reverse. We have the Knight of Pentacles upright. We have the Knight of Swords upright. And on the back of the deck, we have the 9 of Pentacles upright. Okay, so let's get one thing straight, pile 3. You are an absolute catch, and this person recognizes that. So if, Mr. Candle, please don't go rogue. Man, we gotta relight her. We lost one flame. Aw, well, that's kind of cute though. Now there's only 2 left. It's like they only have a fire for you, and like it kind of feels like you only have a fire for them, but I don't know how it is for all of y'all. Anyway, this person is willing to like fight for you and fight for this connection. Truthfully, I don't know like what a black diamond signifies in like crystal terms, but black diamond just makes me think of like snow skiing, and aren't like, which let me be clear, more of a water skier than like a snow skier, so I don't know a whole lot about that. But I'm pretty sure like the really hard, which I guess you could be snowboarding too or whatever, but like aren't like the black diamonds like the really hard courses, like the hardest ones? I feel like in this case, Spirit is really just saying that this person, like, there is no challenge that they wouldn't face for you. Like, there is no no mountain they wouldn't climb, like no river they wouldn't cross. Like, this person, I think this person is shocked, first of all, that anyone was able to get through like their icy, like cold, rigid exterior. Oh my god, I forgot to mention as well, this person could be a Libra, because Judge is like kind of similar to Libra energy. They don't have to be. Just thought of it, so I thought I would say it. But this could be further reiterating that you're a water sign with this Queen of Cups here. I feel like no matter where this person is at in terms of like their finances and things like that, I think they still see themselves as less mature than you. Like they could be older than you, but they still see you as somebody who is at the very least much more emotionally mature than they are. And I think they see you as someone who really is just like very valuable. If you're at a distance from this person right now, I feel like they just miss being close to you. They miss being with you in the physical world. I think that's also why this abundance card came through. Like maybe you and this person are really focusing on work or things like that because you're not able to see each other, or maybe you're saving up money to see each other. But I think that this person just adores you. And I think one thing that they think about a lot is like, why would anybody hurt you? I didn't mean to say her. I was channeling that. Sorry. Somebody's extra passionate. But like, why would anybody hurt them? Like, why? Who would do this to them? And if they hurt you in some way, I think that they will probably never get over that, because they see you as so precious, so kind, so compassionate. And I think one thing that they know is that like, you don't just give your heart to anyone. You don't like open up to anyone. In fact, I think typically you're very closed off and not really interested in giving people much of anything, or I feel like you kind of like to give people this perception, you know, that you're like a strong, independent person. You don't need anybody, that you're doing you don't need anything or anyone else. And I think that this person either feels very, very lucky that you gave them your heart, or they are hoping that you will give them your heart because they don't want to hurt you, and maybe they know that you've been hurt in the past, and they really don't want to do that. With the Four of Swords and the High Priestess here, the first thing that I heard was like this person like does not want to sleep on this connection. So like, I feel like for some of you, you're definitely with this person. Like this person either put a ring on it, or you're in some sort of commitment with them because they did not want to lose you. But I think if that's the case, one thing that they really appreciate is that you don't have secrets. Like this person feels like you're very straight up with them, and from what I can see here, they're very straight up with you. I think one thing that they want to know more about is kind of your healing process and how you got to where you are now. Maybe you don't really talk about a lot of that stuff because it's like triggering, or that's just not what you want to spend your time talking about things with this person. I feel like they just see you as somebody incredibly honest. And I think one thing that maybe they're starting to realize is that you can't like heal them for them. Like they're gonna have to do that themselves. And I think that's one thing that kind of intimidates them. Like if you're an especially spiritual person, or you have spiritual gifts, or you do spiritual work of some kind, I definitely feel like they see you as somebody who could heal effortlessly and naturally. And maybe they feel like they're not capable of doing the same thing, but I think they're getting over that. Because with the Two of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles upright, I feel like they're very patient, and that's kind of interesting. I wouldn't typically get this from I mean, I would from the Knight of Pentacles, but not with the Two of Wands in reverse. But the fact of the matter is, I feel like this person, there's just no one that compares to you. Like, I feel like this person is super patient with allowing this situation, or allowing this connection to unfold as it will, because it's like there's nobody else that even holds a flame to you. Like it's like, why would they worry about a rock when they could have like the most valuable crystal in the world? And like maybe the most valuable crystal in the world is going to take some time to relocate, or to get where they need to be, or to be ready for whatever this person is hoping will happen between the two of you. But I feel like this person is so determined to either find a solution to like any problems you may be experiencing, whether it's like in your connection, or maybe both, like for example, if you live together, maybe there are issues that you're facing as a couple, like they're not issues within the connection, but like issues that you're facing together, where they feel just really lucky to be by your side and are like committed to helping you both succeed and progress in any way they can. With the Emperor in reverse, I think one thing that they're learning how to let go of is control. And I think maybe one thing this person wants to apologize for is maybe at times they could be a little hot-headed, or like they might have a hard time being persuaded from any perspective other than theirs. So I think one thing that they really appreciate is your ability to communicate with them, your ability to listen to them and hear them out. But I think with this Knight of Swords upright and this Emperor in reverse, I do think that one thing that helps them feel more secure within this connection is like when you are just honest with them and voice your concerns, and then like they also do that to you. Like the fact that they can be really honest with you, I think is something that they value a lot. Because maybe in past relationships, they weren't really able to be very honest, because if they were, then they could hurt feelings, or like maybe they've had super sensitive partners in the past. And I think that they just kind of appreciate that they can keep it real with you and that you're not going to take something personally. I do think though that they're ready for some sort of change. So whether that's like moving in together, or maybe if this connection has been stagnant, like if you and this person aren't in communication, it feels like this person wants to communicate with you. Like they see you out here doing well. And maybe if that's the case, like this person has been pretty defensive because they see you as like a really valuable person, a really valuable catch, and they don't want to hurt you if they have in the past. And I feel like maybe one difficult thing is like they don't know where you're at, and like they don't want to impede on your healing. So if this is somebody who's not currently in your life, it's like they adore you from afar, but they don't want to come in and ruin any progress that you've made for yourself, if that makes sense. They don't want to come in and ruin something. And I think that if this was a false start in the past, like maybe you were ready and this person recognizes that they weren't, and maybe they're working to get there, but they're not ready to communicate that yet because they don't feel that they are in a place to be worthy of you yet, which is clearly something that they're gonna have to figure out on their own, because if they don't feel worthy of you, then they're probably right. And I don't mean that in a shady way, I just mean that in an honest way. If you don't feel worthy of something, I don't really know what else to say. But I definitely think no matter what, like this person just really, really values you. They want to fight for you. If or fight for this connection in some way. Like if there's like a blockage of some kind, it's like they want to fight that no matter how difficult or challenging it is. And I think more than anything, they're just grateful that they have you. And if they don't have you, I think that they're kicking themselves if they could have had you. And I think that they're hoping that you'll give them a second chance, but I don't know. That's up to you. But before we go over to the extended, we're going to finish off with some advice for you guys, pile 3. So Spirit, what advice do you want to give to pile 3? We have denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. So you could be in denial about something within this connection, or maybe in denial that this person could have had feelings for you, or that this person could have had any ounce of like kindness or love for you. And I think that Spirit is asking you to put that in check. But also maybe if you're in denial about like how things can improve or things like that, I think Spirit's also asking you to replace your fear with the insight of awareness. We also have honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So yeah, I think Spirit is definitely encouraging to either keep up the honesty between the two of you, or to be more honest with one another. I think that this person wants you to be completely honest with them. But it says, I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. And I think at the very least, if you're being honest with yourself about things, like, you really can't go wrong, right? We also have envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. I'm just going to leave that one as is. I don't know if that's for it, but I'm just going to let you... Enough said. We have courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. So I definitely think, oh, okay, so maybe for some of you, if this is like a long distance sort of thing, you might be seeing like other people like doing well in love and things like that, and you might be like, I wish that was me and like my partner and stuff. And I think Spirit is saying, you know, we all got good shit and bad shit, but there's no need to be envious. It seems like this connection could do that for others as well, and maybe that's something that makes you uncomfortable. But I think Spirit is saying, you know, that's not really your problem. But with courage, I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. And I think that's where you guys are both headed. I think any fears that you have about this connection, if you guys have the courage to face them, there shouldn't be a problem. And on the back of the deck, we have friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. So maybe this is just a friend right now, or maybe you have a mutual friend with this person, or maybe you want to talk to a friend that you have about this. Maybe they can provide you some insight, or just be a listening ear to help you vent to. I got like super lost at the very end of this reading. I don't know what happened to my brain, but I just like, I don't know, it's like my brain like rebooted as I was talking, and now I'm like, where was I? What just happened? But yeah, I definitely think that Spirit is asking you to trust your gut and trust your guidance when it comes to this situation. But you have to know when to act in the physical. Like, there's a need to trust your gut when something is right or something is not right here. But don't be afraid to face any adversity, to face any challenges, because you have the strength to overcome them. And I think no matter what, excuse me, you and this person do seem to have a very solid connection, and I'm rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. Not in like a Tyra way, but like, I'm rooting for you. Your guides, my guides, we're rooting for you. And I really hope that the situation turns out okay. Wow, I don't know why that went off the rails so much towards the end, but yeah, pile 3, I'm gonna leave this reading here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me, but if you're interested in supporting me in other ways, you can check out the extended, which will be linked below. It is 18+ though, so be aware of that. You can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little bell notification to be notified whenever I upload a new video. You can also check out my merch, which will be linked below, as well as my social media. Do be aware that I have like 7 trillion scammers, so if it's not linked below, it's not mine. I'm also not doing personal readings, so if you get DMs about that, it's not me, unfortunately. I can barely text my friends back, but yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards, and thank you to your guides, my guides, and everybody else who was involved here. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you are watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 4. If you guys chose this Pyrite stone and the Wandering Moon Tarot, this is going to be your reading. So to start, we are going to look at oracles and look at the overall energy of the connection. So these two cards will be objective, and we'll look at the energy of the connection as a whole. But what we are also going to do is we're going to look at how your person is seeing themselves and then how they are seeing you. So one thing I do want you to be aware of is that you may not necessarily resonate with how they are seeing you. And that's because it's being filtered through their perception. So just be aware of that. Their perception may not be the objective reality, but let's go ahead and get into it, starting with how this person sees themselves. So to start, we have the Threshold, we have the Cosmic Egg, we have Contract, and we have Rebel. The light attributes are challenges authority to affect social change, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs, and the shadow attributes are rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels, why can't I talk right now? Rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. Annoying thing about English, rebels. Yeah, I feel for anyone learning English as a second language. I'm probably not the best person to learn from, by the way. I am very poor at enunciating things and can be, shit, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, I'll be right back. Sorry about that, Pile 4. Had to clean up my desk because when I'll get like little ashes and stuff on my cards without realizing it, or on my hands without realizing it, and then it just makes everything so much worse. So had to fix that. But let's talk about how this person is seeing you. So to start, we have Eros, we have the Owl, we have the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, and finally we have God. The light attributes are benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others, and the shadow attributes are despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. And then the connecting energies between the two of you are, first of all, we have the Megastar chakra. So it's this chakra right here. I think it's called like the star soul chakra, but that's just like a mouthful, so I say the Megastar. So we have the Megastar chakra with divine wisdom, and we also have time out. So okay, can I just start off by saying that this person like sees you in a very, very high light, like in a very good light. I do want to go back to when I started talking about this person. Actually, no, I was probably mumbling about something useless and dumb anyway. Let's just talk about the connecting energies first, with divine wisdom and time out. So you both are definitely in a place right now where you're integrating more spiritual awareness into your lives. I think for you, you're probably more spiritually advanced than this person, which makes sense considering you're coming to a tarot reading. But I definitely would give you a lot of credit for either introducing spiritual concepts to this person or inspiring them to seek out spiritual answers for themselves. Because what I can see for your person, they have had a huge spiritual awakening. In fact, it may be like their first awakening or their first major awakening. Truthfully, spiritual awakening and like spiritual highs are kind of a cyclical thing, and I find, just at least in my experience, they become less intense over time. Like the biggest ones and the most like shocking ones are the ones that happen when we're first awakening. But you know, I only have so much experience, so who knows, there could be I'm sure there are tons of realizations and tons of exciting things that I will experience in the future, and I just haven't yet. But for this person, I would say that this is their first true spiritual awakening, or a very, very impactful one that has integrated a level of understanding about spiritual concepts that they were already aware of, to a point where it doesn't just feel like a concept, it actually feels real. It's not, it's like this person, for example, could like understand like or understand the concept of like manifestation, law of attraction, things like that, but then maybe didn't like value or put weight into those things until they saw it work for themselves. But it's not just things like manifestation and shit like that. It's so much like deeper. Because this person is having this realization that like pile 4 is on to something. Like, I think that this person, especially if they're a particularly logical person, they may have not really respected a lot of spiritual things. This is often, honestly, this is a concept that like this person could be very scientifically driven, or just very like tech data driven. And I think maybe this person had not realized how that perspective had made them close-minded to certain things as well. In fact, and I think one thing that's really interesting is that they have been confused by you before, because they've always viewed you, especially with this owl being here, as like an intelligent person. But they would be like, how can pile 4 be intelligent and then also believe in silly stuff like astral projection or things like that? And I will say from personal experience, I understand this as somebody who was very data science, logic driven for a good part of my life, because I was never introduced to the concept of spirituality. I thought spirituality was something that came hand in hand with religion and dogma and rules. And I think this person is realizing that there's a lot more to this world than just what we can see physically with our eyes and what we can measure through the scientific method. There's a lot more there than this person has realized. And so it's made you even more attractive to this person, because let's be real, they have a lot of desire for you. This could be a platonic connection for a few of you, but I would say for the vast majority of you, this is somebody who has a lot of desire for you in a physical way, but also in romantic way. I don't know how this person feels about romance, but like this person has a lot of desire for you, and it runs deeper than just lust. If it were lust, you know, we would have like the sacral chakra here, and we would have different cards to indicate that it was just lust. And this person is realizing that you are seeing something that they couldn't see this entire time, and you are expanding their awareness and their understanding. But I don't want to get too deep into you yet. I want to keep talking about this person, because with this threshold card here, they've had some sort of awakening or realization that has been so impactful that they cannot go back to life the way it was. Life will never be the same for them, because it's almost like they've taken a blindfold off of their third eye. I think is probably the best way to describe it. They're taking the blindfold off of their intuitive body. Like, this person may have realized that they are intuitive, but I think that you know, I just heard in my head, like, that's not a science you can rely on. It's not tried and true. It's not. And you know what? I would like to argue when people give, like, psychics or things like that shit for not being 100% accurate. Like, even in science, there's a margin of error. Like, have you ever taken a statistics class? Like, we can't all be perfect. Anyway, this person may have rejected you in the past or rejected this connection. One thing that I am seeing with this time out is I do think that that this connection is either in a literal separation or metaphorical separation. Like, maybe you and this person just aren't communicating right now, or maybe you've been taking time away from this connection to, like, find yourselves. This timeout card, though, doesn't necessarily have to mean a literal timeout. This timeout card can also relate to taking time away from the daily grind of life to find yourself, or refine yourself, to connect to the earth, to connect to nature, to connect to your humanity, to connect to your divinity. And I think that you both are kind of in this place right now. So if you're not communicating with this person, but you've been in a more reflective place, or maybe you're not getting a whole lot done on the physical, but you're getting a whole lot done in terms of your inner awareness and your understanding of life, your understanding of yourself, because I think that's happening to both of you right now. I think you both are in this process of change. And I think one thing that has changed with the two of you is I think this is both of you have changed how you perceive this connection and how you perceive one another. And I think you both are starting to realize that there's more, there's a method to the universe's madness, I guess is the best way I could describe this. With this divine wisdom, I think that you and this person are learning some very, 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 very important truths that you couldn't see before. And you're continuing to do that. And while that can be incredibly uncomfortable, I think you both are realizing that you have access to a wealth of guidance, encouragement, love, compassion from your guides, from the spiritual realm. I think that you are probably a lot more aware of this, but it seems like this person is kind of coming online in a way where they're starting to see beyond the illusion of the physical world and the illusion of that being all there is. One thing that I'm seeing here is that this person, I think that they have been living their life for themselves after living their life for others for a really long time. But I think what they have just realized, or realized in the recent past, is that they may have tied themselves down to an identity, or to the perception of becoming a certain entity, and anything that didn't align with that couldn't be there. And I think this person is realizing now that their dedication to this identity, which I think is this more rebel energy, is actually holding them back and keeping them trapped and not allowing them to fully unleash who they are, who they want to be. Because with this contract here, I feel like this person has a fear of being tied down in certain ways. And maybe that is why they may have rejected you or rejected commitment. They could have, like, trauma around romantic relationships, either ones that they've been involved in or ones that they were brought up around. I feel like this person almost relies on self-sufficiency to the point where they're afraid of even depending on somebody else. Like, the idea of depending on somebody else for anything, I think this person considers codependency, which isn't really healthy. Like, there's a huge difference between codependency and, like, needing help or needing someone. And I think this person is realizing that. I think they're realizing how they have been holding themselves back, because one energy that I'm kind of getting is, like, for a while now, I think that this person has been in this threshold energy. Like, they're just waiting for the universe to come through with some realization or some divine intervention or some sort of answer that's just going to make everything make sense. And I think that answer either had something to do with you, something to do with this connection, or something to make them realize that a lot of their perceptions about this connection or their perceptions about you were being tainted by their own distorted perceptions of what love is, or their own distorted perceptions of how romantic interests operate. I was gonna say people of the opposite sex, but like that doesn't, this can absolutely be a same-sex connection. This doesn't have to be that, but maybe this person, if it is like, if you're like, this person may have generalized like the opposite sex. So like, if, for example, if this person identifies as male, they could have been like, oh, and they're attracted to women, they could say, oh, all women are this way, or all women want this, or this person was holding themselves to sweeping generalizations about people instead of like exploring people and getting to know them. And I think this person is realizing that they're a part of a plan much greater than themselves. And that's kind of how I'm viewing this cosmic egg energy. Like, I kind of feel like this is your person, and they're realizing that this greatness within them, that this wisdom that lies within them, that this divine path that they're on, it doesn't just have to do with them and their own interests and them getting the life that they truly want. And I think that they are realizing what's been holding them back from finding this fulfillment has been this really one-track mind that they've had about how they're going to reach this fulfillment or how they're going to reach this success. It's almost like they tied themselves down to what they felt like would make them the most successful or make them what they needed to be in order to become happy. And then here you come in, and you just kind of like took their like plan, and you didn't do this intentionally or even outright. It's just your energy did this. And like took that plan and just set it on fire. Like just completely like flip the script. And I think this person is realizing like, wow, I was trying to follow this very specific narrow path, when in reality I've had all of these options and opportunities around me this whole entire time. And it's greatly it's really changing their perspective and their perception on life and what they're here to do and why they are here. And I think they're at this point, which I think is really interesting, because you're facing forward and they're facing this way. And they're looking directly at this Rebel card. And it's almost like I think this person is realizing that they're going to have to let go of this identity that they've created for themselves in order to fully align with the path that is their truth. And what I think is a part of their truth right now is admitting some sort of desire or wanting to move in your direction. Because let's talk about how they're seeing you. Obviously with like God, that's a pretty intense it's a pretty intense way to view somebody. But I think this person is seeing you this way because they're understanding why you see things the way you do now. They're understanding that the things that you believe in aren't silly delusions or confirmation bias or whatever shit you want to label spiritual experiences. This person is realizing that that you do have something special within you, and that is you have your soul. You have what makes you part of God. You honor what your soul is telling you. Maybe not all the time, but to a much greater degree than this person. And you have a better gauge of what your soul wants and what your soul's purpose is than this person. And you could probably really relate to this person and where they've been because you were probably there once yourself. Maybe you guys could be like two sides of the same coin, I think is the best way I could explain you both. But one thing that I think is really fascinating here is that this Eros and this owl are very black and white. And I think this person may have seen you at first as just somebody who they were really attracted to, or somebody who they were intrigued by and wanted to explore, but didn't necessarily want to delve deeper with. And I think now this person is realizing just how fucking smart you are. And it's not just smart in like a book smart way. This is smart in a divine way. Yeah, it's not smart. It's wisdom. It's wisdom. They're seeing the wisdom that you have within you, and that maybe if they had more of this wisdom and this understanding, that they could have you, or that they could be like you. I do think that they want to be more like you. And I think this person is realizing that you are both connected through the fact that we are all one at the end of the day. We are all connected. But this person feels an extra sense of connection to you. So I do think that this could be a divine connection of some kind, for sure. And I think when it comes to you, this person really is freaked out by your connectivity to spirit, your ability to communicate with spirit, because with this 5th chakra here, I think that you have said things to this person that hit them really, really, really deep, and you didn't even realize you were doing that. And it's likely because you were channeling. You could be the type of person who channels very naturally without realizing it. I mean, actually, humans do this all the time. When you get the advice that you need from a random stranger, or somebody tells you something that is like just exactly what you needed to hear. Like, when we're not thinking about things too hard, our guides and stuff can kind of speak through us, or this person's guides, other people's guides can speak through us in ways where we'll never have any idea it was them, or any idea that what we said was impactful, but it will mean the difference to this person. And I think this person is realizing that there's more to their attraction to you than just lust or sexual attraction. I'm very intrigued to see what goes through their mind in an 18+ way, but that will be in the extended. But I think they see you as somebody so valuable. This owl connects to the goddess Lakshmi, Hindu goddess Lakshmi, Lakshmi, if somebody was curious. But she connects to wealth, to beauty, to good fortune, things like that. And actually, she's on the box of this deck that I have, that I've been doing a lot of work in. She's on the fortune card, but the fortune card is just a smaller version. And there's a little owl. So this is the blown up image of the fortune card within this deck. Actually, really awesome deck. I'm learning a lot from it. So if you're interested in oracle decks, this may be a good one to check out. But yeah, that's Lakshmi. I guess she just wanted to make herself known. She's also has a connection to elephants, which you can see 2 of them here, as well as lotus flowers. But yeah, really, really rad goddess, if I do say so myself. And I think that this person associates you with the qualities that Lakshmi has. They see you as somebody very blessed, but I think that they didn't give you enough credit for that before. I think they saw you as somebody who got what they wanted through being attractive, or got what they wanted through saying the right things. In fact, I think that this person was a little afraid of you, because they didn't understand how you could just say what they needed to hear, or say things that rung so true to them. They're like, this person has to be doing some crazy like witchcraft shit, or like, how are they doing this? Like, I think that this person was really afraid of what you were doing. And anybody who is into spirituality will know this, so I'm sure you will agree with me. You really can't communicate or show someone your experience when it comes to spiritual shit. Like, unless you experience it for yourself, you can't truly understand what where the other person is coming from. And that's the thing. That's why spiritual stuff can't really be upheld in, you know, scientific method standards. In fact, actually, a good friend of mine explained it this way. He said that, like, scientific studies were like a thumbprint, and they kind of show you exactly what's going on in an exact place at an exact time, but that's it. You know, every single scientific study is, you know, they're created and made so that they can be replicated, studied, tested, and things like that. But when it comes to spiritual experiences, they're not something that you can standardize or just observe. They're deeply personal, and they impact everyone differently. And it's like, of course, you can't study it on a very, like, baseline way like that, because it's so individual and so personal. You can't put the scientific method on spiritual experiences. You can't, because the scientific method in of itself is meant to measure, you know, human shit, the physical world, the natural, observable world. And there's so much to this world that we can't just naturally observe, that we can't just watch. You know, when you do spiritual shit, you have to be an active participant. You can't just, you're not going to benefit if you just read this stuff and if you don't apply it, if you don't actually do the work. Like, spirituality is not going to benefit you any more than anything else would. And I think this person is realizing that, because they've finally gotten to the point where they're actually, instead of just doing research and, like, getting information about these spiritual things, they're doing it for themselves. They're starting to listen to the universe and starting to realize that there's so much more to this world than what they see. And I think this person is having a really difficult time right now letting go of the idea of who they were, but they're ready to cross that threshold, which is really exciting. And in terms of how they see you, I think that at first they were very afraid of the way that you could say things that just penetrated the deepest parts of their soul. You have a lot of power with your words. You have a lot of power with your voice, and that's why you're coming through in the 5th chakra. And one more thing I wanted to say about the science thing is, oftentimes, actually, no, it's not important. It's not important. Let me keep going. When it comes to how they see you as somebody incredibly wise, and somebody who they want to pick your brain. They want to understand more about you. And one thing that I'm hearing is that it may have been quite some time since you've communicated with this person, or since you and this person have been around one another, had a conversation with one another. And I think Spirit is saying that if you're anticipating that changing, expect things to be different. Expect this person's energy to be different. The same way I'm sure you have been making changes as well. One thing that I see here is that if you are communicating with this person, I think that they're very happy to be communicating with you. I think that they're very happy to be on your radar in general. Like, it makes them very happy. But I think what's difficult is they still have this large amount of attraction to you. Well, I don't think that's a problem, but in their mind it's a problem, because it may be hard for this person to separate attraction with, like, the person. Like, they may just find you more intimidating. The best example that I can give is, I have this deck with angels. I'll just grab it because I know I have it. With, like, angels and ascended masters and shit like that. And they're super hot. Like, all of them are incredibly hot. Like, and it makes it more awkward. Like, case in point, Archangel Jeremiel. Like, what am I supposed to do? Look at Archangel Raphael. Are you fucking kidding me? I can't say her name, but, like, fine, right? You know? Look at this. Look at this. Look at how fine all of them are. Like, does that not, like, Metatron, what, like, oh my god. You know, it's just harder to not be nervous when you're attracted to somebody. You know what I mean? Like and since this person is attracted to you, it's very scary because it's like everything about you draws this person in, and that makes this person incredibly suspicious because they see that as like, oh, I could get hurt, and oh, if I don't need anybody, or if I don't care about anything, then I can't be hurt, or I can't be, you know, whatever the case may be. I can keep myself safe. But I think that this person is realizing that there's not a whole lot of satisfaction to be gained within their comfort zone anymore, and they're realizing that there's something much deeper than just attraction here, and that there could be a lot that there, I say there could be, as the third party reader here, I think that it's more that there is, but this person thinks that there could be a lot more to this connection, and maybe you've communicated that before, and they're finally starting to see the truth of that. Whereas before they might have been worried that you were just saying that, you know, to be manipulative or to get this person on their side, and maybe that's never been your intention, but maybe people have said to this person like, oh, we're soulmates, we're this, we're that, with the deliberate intention of keeping this person tied to them, which is manipulative and horrible. But I think this person realizes that that's not, like, I think you've been very benevolent and compassionate towards this person, and I think this person is realizing now that they see themselves within you. They see a lot more within you that they couldn't see before because they were only focusing on what they were not and what you were, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and see what's on their mind when it comes to you, and see what they're thinking about, because this is certainly very interesting energy to be in. So we are using the Wandering Moon Tarot for this deck. I really love this deck. I really love the artwork. I do not fucking love that cups are called moons and pentacles are called stars. So just be aware of that. I'm saying that now so that I don't trip myself up. I totally ranted about this in another reading. I kind of lost my shit on one deck because wands were represented by like acorns, and I just lost my shit. But I'm gonna try to not get fucking like angry if I trip myself up, but just be aware of that. Pentacles are stars, moons are cups. Yeah. Okay, well now we gotta do one more good one because that one was so bad, and then we will start. Okay, that's better. Okay, so Spirit, what goes through pile 4's person's mind? Okay, 3 of Cups. Okay, you know what's funny though? When I thought of 3 of Moons, I just heard triple booty. It just made me laugh. That's definitely Archangel Michael talking. He can never contain himself, and that is why I love him. Judgment in reverse. We have the 4 of Pentacles upright. I'm sorry, but doesn't it make more sense that the 4 of Stars would be like fire or some shit? There's nothing earthy about stars. Like, they're flaming balls of gas. I just make it make sense. I'm sorry. With peace and love to whoever created this deck. Like, it's an amazing, beautiful deck. Okay, what's this? Oh, the Hanged Man. I was like, is that a fun card? Hanged Man in reverse. And we have the Magician in reverse. Okay. Spirit is asking me to riffle shuffle again and then clarify. So that's what we're gonna do. All right. So then, Spirit, you clarify the Three of Moons? The triple booty. Okay. Six of Wands in reverse. How about Judgment in reverse? Six of Swords upright. The Four of Pentacles. What the hell is this? What? What is this? Oh my god. Okay. Well, I'm gonna need a clarifier because I don't even know what the fuck that is. This doesn't even have a... The Fool in reverse. All right, we'll do that. Okay. Okay. We clarify the Hanged Man in reverse, please. We have the Two of Swords in reverse. How about the Magician? The Eight of Wands. And on the back of the deck, we have the High Priestess in reverse and the Chariot upright. This person doesn't want any more secrets between the two of you. I'm feeling really drawn to one specific card and I need to pull it out. It's right here. It's right here. What is it? The Nine of Wands. Wow. Okay. So that's right before the Eight of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah. Like this person has been holding back from something for a while now. But with this High Priestess in reverse, I definitely think that this person... Oh, wow. Okay, this... Maybe that's what I was really supposed to be paying attention to. Yeah, this person wants to... This person sees a truth that they didn't see before. And I think they're afraid to communicate that to you. I think they're afraid to admit that maybe they weren't as sure of things as they thought they were. But... I don't know what the fuck this card is, but Spirit's got a good explanation for it, so we're going to roll with that. But let's start here, because actually what's really interesting is what's going through their mind when it comes to you is there's, okay... You're so omnipresent in this person's, like, energy or on their mind that, like, this person has a hard time being wrong. And I think that they're realizing that they were very wrong. Because what I'm kind of feeling is... They're realizing how they were truly acting from a much more wounded place than they thought. Because with this triple booty, this Three of Moons, clarified by the Six of Wands in reverse, I think that this person was very comfortable around surface level energy, around just like easy breezy energy. And it's really interesting because the way they were perceiving you with this Eros card is so similar to like all of these cards, because this deck is in black and white. But I think this person realized that they're the king of a hill that they never wanted to be on or thought they would be on. Because I think that this person has been living a lifestyle where they don't really have to be accountable to anyone. They don't really have to be like invested long term with people that they don't want to be around. And I think what they're realizing is that this lifestyle it's not bringing them the fulfillment that they thought it would. And I think with this Three of Cups, Six of Wands in reverse energy, I think that they're having a hard time admitting, not only to themselves, but even to allow me to channel it, that this freedom that they were giving themselves, this freedom, I say freedom in parentheses, is they've almost been trapped in this lifestyle that they've convinced themselves is what's going to make them happy, or they've convinced themselves, and that doesn't mean that lifestyle has to just be like partying or something like that. Whatever lifestyle has brought this person joy or just happiness in the moment, because it's not like, because what we have here is the Three of Cups. We don't have the Sun, and the Three of Cups is like a joyful energy, but the Sun is like, obviously it's a major card. It's a hell of a lot happier than the Three of Cups. And I think that this person was confusing the Three of Cups as the Sun energy, as something that would always sustain them, something that would always be fulfilling, something that would always make them feel free and light and joyful. And I think that this person has been involved in whatever lifestyle they thought would bring them that for long enough to where they're realizing that this is not what's making them happy. In fact, they feel really low in this energy. They're realizing how being around people that had the same viewpoint as them may have actually hurt them more so than it helped them. I think that they're realizing that their comfort zone is not the same thing as living a truly joyful life. And I think that you walked away from this person, or maybe it was mutual, or maybe this person walked away from you. It just kind of seems like this person is realizing that there's not a whole lot left for them where they're at. It's like a video game almost, you know, like those video games where it's not like Skyrim, but it's more like, or Elder Scrolls, but it's more like, you know, the purpose of the game is to reach a certain point, and then once you've beaten the game, like, it's not really fun anymore. Like, you've experienced everything. And maybe, honestly, maybe this person, because when I said the game, it made me think of a book called The Game by Neil Strauss. And it's a really good book. It's about players and about, you know, just that culture and all those sorts of things. And maybe this person was a player. And I think one thing that they're realizing is this perpetual energy of on to the next, not going to stick around too long, on to the next, has actively been stopping them from getting more in touch with themselves, but also has been stopping them from transforming. One thing that I notice here is Judgment is really closely tied to Pluto, the planet Pluto. And Pluto's all about transformation. And I think this person is realizing that they cannot transform until they move beyond what's holding them back. And what's been holding them back is their way of life, the way that they view things, their minute moments of happiness and joy within what feels like a very bleak and uninteresting existence for the majority of the time. So let's talk about this Four of Pentacles, this unknown motherfucking card, and this Fool in reverse. Because this person recognizes that they hold back from you. In fact, to maybe confirm who this is, you may feel energetically like they're like a clenched fist around you. Like they're not willing to be open. They're not willing to... I just saw Rick and Morty, the big talking heads are like, show me what you got, I want to see what you got. It feels like this person didn't want to show you fucking anything. And I think that's because they'd never met somebody like you before. And that's why I was like, what the fuck is this? Especially because I took extra lengths, which is not very characteristic of me. I literally made sure that like I knew what cards were in this fucking deck. I don't know what this card is. I don't know. There's nothing on it. And I think that is very telling of your impact on this person to you, to them. When they met you, and still to this day, they can't categorize you under anything. They don't know what you are. They don't understand you. Like, and that is what makes you so compelling and intriguing, but also so fucking terrifying. And maybe at the same time irritating. Because this person wants to be able to put you in some sort of category or understand you. And you're limitless. You are just the gift that keeps on giving. Like, the surprise that keeps on being more surprising. And I think that you're a huge unknown. And this person has never let go of the idea of the unknown, of an unknown future with you. But I think they've been very afraid of taking the leap required to be in that unknown. Because what I love is how similar these two cards are. Like, this person doesn't want to look like a fool. And maybe they made you look like a fool in the process. And maybe that's something that you both have been healing. Or maybe that you felt that way. This person definitely held back from you and recognizes that they hold back from you. Because one, they really care about what you think. They see you as somebody very smart. And they don't want to mess up. They don't want to do something wrong. And they don't want to look foolish in front of you. And they don't want to look foolish in front of anyone else either. And it's like they don't know what to do with your energy. And so one thing that I think that they've realized is because they didn't know what to do with your energy, they didn't do anything. They allowed themselves to be paralyzed when it comes to this situation. They allowed themselves to be silent. They allowed themselves to not say anything, to not be honest about what their truth is. And I think that they have regrets about keeping so many secrets hidden. I think they have regrets about not being honest about their true feelings towards you. Because with this Chariot card here and this Knight of Wands, I feel like this person may have wanted to play this connection off as merely just attraction, or merely as just a fling or a good time. But this person can no longer block the energetic truths of this connection that I think that you've always been aware of, but now they are having to see. Because I think that this Hanged Man energy and this Judgment energy are only in reverse because this person has had some realizations now. Like, they've had to be in Hanged Man energy. They've had to have these intense realizations in order to get to this point, to be at the point where they're ready to cross some kind of threshold. But I think one thing that this person doesn't have quite yet is the belief in themselves or the confidence to reach their goals or get where they need to go. But they want to take action towards you. I think it's just very important to them that they don't take action in a manipulative way. I think that they don't want you to see them as conniving or as anything but coming through with pure intentions. I think one thing that just makes them very afraid of that is what might happen if they're not able to show you that they're being straight up. It's like this person doesn't know what to do about this situation. They really don't. But I think they're realizing that they haven't taken action in the past and that their lack of action has contributed to the dynamic that is presently there. My left ear is ringing. Like, really, really, really high pitched. I don't think I've ever heard a pitch this high in my ear before, so that's weird. But this person knows that you know a lot more than they do, and they want to take action towards you, but they're afraid of what you think of them. They're afraid of what you know of them. They're afraid of your ability to manipulate and hurt them. And you might be sitting here like, I don't want to manipulate or hurt them, but the people in their past have. And that's why I feel like they've had a lot of really shitty people in their life. And that's why when an unknown like you comes in, they don't know what the fuck to do with that. Like, they're like, what do I do with this? Like, I can't even categorize this. Like, I can't even, and I think this person realizes that they've been wrong about a lot, and they've read you incorrectly, and that they've been unfair to you and themselves in this situation. And I think they want to take action to rectify that, but they don't know what that action is, and I don't think they believe in themselves enough at this current point to take action. But they want to, and the intention is there. And I think the universe is guiding them towards that. But I think more than anything, they're still in this mode of wanting to protect themselves. But they feel like this situation has been very unsuccessful because of who they were, their past, maybe just your collective past. But I feel like they do want to change that. They do want to be successful here. And I think they realize now that, like, things kind of needed to happen the way they did so that this person could reach this point. But I think with this Three of Cups energy, they also just, I think one thing that they realized is that you made them really happy, or your energy makes them really happy. And this person could have at first taken that as, well, why can't I be that way by myself? I know I can, I don't need anyone but myself. Why does this person make me so happy? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I feel like this person might have been defensive about the fact that you made them really happy. Because what's the point of being so self-sufficient if they can't give that happiness to themselves? And I think it's taken a lot of time for the universe to show this person that sometimes the parts that make a whole are more effective than the whole they make. But in this case, I think you both are two parts that are effective on their own, but actually could be stronger when they're whole, when they're coming together as a unit. And maybe that's something this person is realizing. Like, maybe you have more insight into things than they do. They want to understand the spiritual world more, and they don't understand it. They feel like you have the key to a lot of truths that they don't quite understand yet. But I think they just continue to hold back because they're very afraid of the unknown. And I think that it's not just that they're afraid of the unknown. I think they're more afraid of taking that leap of faith and then realizing that that's not something that's mutual or mutually wanted, and then being rejected of having that new start once they have the courage to take that leap, if that makes sense. But you're kind of entwined in their existence and in their being. So a lot of their thoughts are not necessarily about you as a whole. They're more so about how you're right about things, or how you knew what you were talking about in certain ways, or how they're wrong. Like, it's almost like the universe, they may have at times felt like the universe was using you to mock them about how they're wrong about things, or about how their actions have come to bite them in the ass. And I feel like you've done absolutely nothing, but this person just either takes things really personally, or hasn't taken kindly to this kind of connection coming into their lives. And I think they're just now starting to come around to the idea of it. I think for a long time they were very angry, very frustrated with what this energy was doing to them. And I think what they didn't realize is that you were no more a willing participant than they were. They may have felt like you were creating these energies, or you were doing this to them. And I think what they're realizing is that you didn't do shit. And like, if you had any say in it, you probably wouldn't have, you may have asked for this, but you probably wouldn't have chosen this either. I mean, I think you both did choose this experience, but I think your human selves would be very shocked to realize that this is very much, this goes both ways. This isn't like, this isn't one person against the other. And I think the difference between the two of you is that you've had the insight that there's something deeper, there's something spiritual, whereas this person hasn't had that spiritual component to make them realize how much bigger this is than just a connection, than just a relationship. This is something deeper. This is something that can provide a lot of transformation, a lot of wisdom, a lot of happiness. But if you shun, reject it, and walk away from it, it's just going to kind of nag at you and be an ever-growing chip on your shoulder, or be something that the universe continues to redirect you towards, because the universe knows what they're talking about a little bit more than our tiny human selves do. And I think maybe you're more aware of that than this person is. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but a lot of what goes through their mind is very, there's a lot. Like, this person is very cerebral. And I think that they're in a very unique position where there's finally there's some other energy coming through to them other than rationality and logic. And I think they're still figuring out what to do with that. But yeah, they think of you very highly. I think that they just have a hard time seeing themselves in the same light. And so I think that's what they're working on right now. I feel like some of these people that I'm reading about may not be big enough to admit to you quite yet that they're wrong, or that they misjudged a situation, or that they didn't see things accurately. I think this person recognizes that they needed to walk away from this situation, or that you needed to walk away from this situation in order for them to see more clearly, and in order for the changes that needed to happen to be made. So I think that's all I'm getting in terms of their mindset. I'm sorry it's less geared towards you, but I think that if this pile is truly meant for you, you'll kind of understand, and maybe you'll find that you share similar sentiments. But we will go in the extended. We're going to see what goes through their mind in a sexual way. So hopefully we'll get more insights there in terms of what they feel, and like what they, all that. But we're going to finish off here with some advice for you when it comes to this connection. So Spirit, what advice do you have for pile 4? We have failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Yeah, I think one thing that Spirit is trying to get you to understand, especially when it comes to like a connection like this, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay. Like, this connection hasn't been a failure. And I think that it's only your attitude that will continue to keep it that way. But I think you both have learned a lot from this connection, whether it persists in the future or whether neither of you are interested in that. There's no such thing as a bad or failed relationship, like only opportunities to learn. But we have humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And we have happiness. I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. And so I think maybe for one or both of you, Spirit's saying that until enough time has passed for you both to be able to laugh at what's happened between the two of you, or be able to look at things from a lighter perspective, they may not bring this connection forward. But when you look at this connection from like a lighter point of view, it also, I think, helps this person as well. But I think what Spirit has been trying to get you both to realize this entire time is that being happy means that you're on the right path. And I think when it comes to the both of you, if you both are making each other happy, then you are on the right path with one another. But if you're hurting each other more than you're helping each other, or taking away from one another's lives than adding to them, then that's clearly not the right path, because it's not aligning with what feels good. And then on the back of the deck, we have Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So one thing I do want to say is, no matter what your connection to this person is, I think Spirit is asking you to continue to be very compassionate and understanding towards them. I think you have been. I think it's just important to remember that we all come in with different experiences, and we all have different challenges to learn, and different perceptions to break free from, and different illusions to once again break free from. But I noticed that your cards are very purple and green, which makes me think of the crown and the heart chakra. And so I think Spirit is saying, just view this situation from a compassionate and spiritual place. One that's always looking out for your best interests, of course. But when it comes to this connection, I think the best thing that you can do for yourself is just not take the actions of this person too personally, especially past actions, because this person is growing from that. And just recognize that as long as you continue aligning with what makes you happy, what is in your loving and highest good, like if this person is doing that as well, then you will align. And I think maybe the reason you haven't aligned right now, or aren't aligned in the way you both would like to be, is you're still working those kinks out. But I think that you both are doing a lot better than you give yourselves credit for. And I think that your person, at the very least, has reached a major point in their own journey where they are now able to realize a lot of things that they weren't able to see before. And I think that alone is going to be very beneficial to this connection, or at the very least beneficial for this person's growth. So pile 4, I think I'm going to take it over to the extended now. But if you're leaving me here, which is totally okay, thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. But if you'd like to support me in other ways, you can check out the extended. You can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little bell notification to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch. You can check out my social media. All of that will be linked down below. Please just be aware, though, that there are a lot of scammers pretending to be me, especially on Instagram. So if it's not linked below, it's not mine. But yeah, that's all I have. Thank you guys so much for letting me read your cards. Thank you to you, your person, and all of our collective guides for helping me channel this message. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye!